Let's go. Так. So yeah. So glad to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, I watched your work before, like on Instagram, even on the Twitch, I think was your streams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I kind of like I see your work like a very cool classical comic book style, and your like ink inequality. I'm still far to there because it's like it's like when artists work with material and he make it material disappear. So I don't see ink, I just see kind of like form and like if special effects kind of which you draw. So I think it's very cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. It is a challenge to to draw the stuff. Always.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's kind of you can see just like thousands of hours, like over 10,000 hours, I can say for sure.
Yes, I try to do my best. I always see what I've done wrong, but it's always a motivation to be better.
Yeah, and it's also interesting. It's just like quality of like real creative people. Let's say, like don't say like talented or genius, whatever, but just real dudes who trying to do real stuff. They always are not happy with their work, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I've noticed that. Yeah, I think it is a weird not concept, but just an idea that or phenomenon, I guess, that we have influences, we have people, artists that we like, and we enjoy their work, and we see. I think we see so much more than what they see, and I think it's always like that. Because all this stuff I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at now, it's like, oh, I messed up this, I messed up that, I messed up that. But that's only because I see that. I see that because I drew it. If I
Mm-hmm.
see someone else's drawing, I might not see the incorrections. Yeah, the incorrections.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will see it, but then I'll be okay. I'll be okay with it.
And
I think
mhm.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Mhm. No, I mean it's just interesting. It's like if is some kind of like yin in of quality in the work. One side is about kind of momentum or like essence of work, and other side is expectations like presentation of your work maybe. So like when you say about not like mistakes or incorrections is like your um fail to reach your own expectations kind of, right?
Right. And it is that, but I think there's always a, how do you say it, where there's always a contradiction. You like the stuff that you draw, but you can always point out what's wrong with the drawing. Like there's some panels, some drawings I like it, but there's some areas in that drawing that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and if you are studying it a lot with other artists too, you sometimes if you really study it, you can point out the imperfections or the anatomy if the anatomy is off in other people's work as well. But then you find, or I'll find that it's okay. Like if they think that's okay to show, then oh, you know what? Then it's okay then that I got the
Mm-hmm.
muscles wrong. Just as long as it looks convincing, then that should be sufficient. But at the same time, I also know is that I can't rely on things always being convincing. Muscles need to have a certain form for it
Mm-hmm.
to work. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
there's always that back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like you never, you kind of never reach perfect condition, right? Like,
No.
like even like if we talk about like this like Michelangelo or I think it's just like if we go up to their level, we will also see a lot of like, compromises, kind of, right? Like how they hide in their errors and stuff. Especially like when you work with a real model, you would just never catch it. It's just impossible. Like how's a rabbit and turtle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I think there's an artist, Daniel Warren Johnson. Are you familiar with
Yeah, yeah, for
his
sure.
work?
Yeah. Hmm.
His work is very fast, and the way he draws is very fast. The brushwork looks like it's being drawn fast without,
Hmm.
even seeing him draw live, even though he does the lives, but just seeing his work as a result of what he did on that final page, you can tell how fast he's drawing, and it looks so much more detailed than it actually is. Like he's found a way where he only has to put enough work on the page, enough lines where it's convincing enough where the anatomy is even skewed, but it's skewed on purpose. It's
Yeah.
supposed to
Hmm.
show motion, there's a little blur in it. Uh, the speed line things even skews the anatomy even more, even the proportions of certain things even more. But that's it. Like he doesn't have to rely on high detail to get his work across.
So and here I don't know. It's just like it's this theme appeared to me. I still like very interesting to discuss. Um, That's why I kind of like I think if we talk about like other side, like momentum, it's like purpose or reason why you start drawing at first, right? Like you start like particular drawing, let's say. It was some drive, like intent, kind of which drive you to draw this work. And I think this kind of like intersection of this drive and kind of representation make good work. And it's like it's never perfect. You kind of you will never perfectly represent what you want to say or what you want to show. Like you kind of it's like your whole life you try to really understand what is happening in your head, kind of this, like what you really interested in or what you really want to say. And same time you never good enough to when you already have something clear in your mind, you will never good enough to say it properly, or there is just no words which can explain this, or look, it's just ink on paper. It's not we are not like messing with people brains directly. So like in Daniel Warren Johnson, I think we see how this momentum he just radiating through his lines, and when you make it wrong but you deliver momentum, it works.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I totally agree to that. Um, yeah.
Mm.
Um, we have comments. The Fork said style over accuracy. Yeah, most definitely. And then JG says great energy in the work. Yeah, with Daniel Johnson's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, uh, kind of like, so this my channel. He became like a channel about how to draw in perspective. Just, I don't know, because it's so many video about perspective already, and people expect more about perspective stuff. Um, so like for you, like you're using now this like a drone view, like a bird view with a
Uh,
3-point perspective grid.
yeah.
Um, when you learn perspective for comic book, like what kind of was your path from total noob and to artist who use perspective like in your work and your comic books?
I don't know like the earliest instance of it. It was probably like just um how to draw books dealing with perspectives. I don't know the particular ones from early on, but well, one of the earliest instances that I that showed perspective was in the comic book magazine Wizard. There would be little sections where an artist would teach certain techniques relating to comic books as far as anatomy and panel work. There's someone that was showing off perspective. Greg Capullo was showing off perspective and some techniques to do with that. And aside from the 1 point perspective, 2 point, and 3 point, the one that really stuck out to me was the instance where you would use a certain body part
Hmm.
on people, and you would use that as the what do you even call that, the depth,
Hmm.
if you know, people's eyes, like he would just use like the eyes as a marker. So if all the eyes were on one line, the perspective is always going to be the
Ah, yeah, yeah,
perspective is
yeah,
always going to work. And
yeah, yeah.
ever since that, I was thinking like, oh, like other what are the other tricks that can
Hmm.
be used with perspective to show perspective? Like, what are the other tricks other than 1 point and two, like using the points? Because the points is so, it's very tedious. Now it's easy because we have the computers to delineate that. Although sometimes I'm still like trying to figure out uh things about perspective, as far as like what's a convincing distance of vanishing point to use
Hmm.
to show perspective without having it forced. uh I don't even know how to say these things, having it look forced.
You mean like a 2-point perspective, kind of?
Yeah, like if you had your vanishing
Hmm.
points here, is
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah. It's like,
drastic. It's so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
drastic, rather than if you took a photo, the perspective point is probably like outside,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then it looks
Yeah.
natural. That's the thing, that still trips me up. Like I can't get it. I can't get the perspective natural quickly. I always have to like start off here and then pull away. Or I'll what I do now is that I'll fake out a perspective with the layouts with this freeway, and then with the program, I'll try to match the vanishing point
Hmm.
as close as I can, and then it's like, oh, okay, then now I have this. Yeah, but things like this, I'd always like always see that like, oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's interesting. I was also like, if reading Scott Robertson book, How to Draw,
Mm,
I still kind of don't completely study it. No, it's not enough just to read it and even make a couple drawings. It's really require a lot of work. And it's kind of, for me, it became clear at some point. It's like when you look Kim Jong-gi, he used different approach. It's not like you building vehicles like a Scott Robertson. He kind of like jump over certain steps, so it's not so properly drawn. And sometimes you can see kind of errors because he avoided this like over technical steps. And it's fine. Nobody notice it. It's all kind of too specific, maybe.
yeah.
So so it's kind of like turns out my um, kind of conclusion was is just is no general perspective. Kind of you cannot just study perspective for perspective. You need to choose like what is your specialization. Like you like you want to draw comic books, illustrations, or you want to draw concept art. It's like a lot of other professions where you actually will be useful to know perspective, but your approach will be different according to your profession.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. But I always I always like go back to Otomo and Mobius. I'm like, man, they always know to respect to Jeff Darrow.
Hmm.
He knows the perspective and he knows the rules and he knows how to I think they know how to get away with certain things
Hmm.
within staying within the limitations or the rules of perspective. I'm almost like opposite, or I'm trying to get there, but I'm almost like the opposite. It's like, well, I'll use it. I'll use it within the rules as much as I know I can. But I
Hmm.
just know there's like other stuff that oh, you know what? Here, I'll reveal something it's like so embarrassing. I
Hmm.
just realized, I think, I don't know, a few years ago that as a kid, when you would draw perspective, you use a 1 point. Sometimes you just keep it in the middle. But I realized this recently, fairly recently, that if you're drawing, if this is our for
Hmm.
horizon line, and here's our vanishing point. I realized like, hey, I can use. There's multiple vanishing points that I can
Ah,
use.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because then, like,
yeah.
as a kid,
Hmm.
if I drew a street and the sidewalk, you know, the building is just like this, like all the time. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
box.
yeah,
The box is also here. It's the
yeah,
same. And it's just so static. I'm like, oh, you know, I can make a box with this. I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like it's so many stuff like this all the time. You like people sometimes think you know it all, but then it's like, wait a second, I never even know this kind of basic stuff. It's like, or I learned it yesterday and now I teach it, and it looks like I know it all my life.
Yeah. Yeah, your stuff, there was I found your stuff because I was looking for like more I was looking for more tricks with perspective.
Hmm.
That's how I came up on your channel. It's like watching you and trying to study trying to study what else I can get from
Hmm.
perspectives because we know the rules.
Yeah.
When you're drawing the vehicles, I think one thing that I learned from your vehicles one, it was kind of recent. You were drawing the cyberpunk stuff, and you
Uh-huh.
were showing that there's this angle here
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's following that. I'm like, okay. And then earlier today, I was looking outside the window, looking at the other cars, and noticing that, oh, there's an angle here too. I'm always
Yeah.
drawing the car. I'm always drawing it like a box.
Yeah.
Even though I'm trying not to draw it like a box, I go, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. This is always angled. I have I'm using a reference for this van. And that van, even it's an old 1950s van.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
also the angles there
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Well, even like this might seem, I'm not telling you, I'm telling the people watching, this might seem that this is
Yeah,
90
it's actually
degree from the
also.
ground. It's not. It's
Mm-hmm.
That's also at an angle. But now I'm
Yeah.
trying to remind myself that like, okay, they're always angled. Even this too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slight angle, but it's so inconsequential. It's okay if that's flat, but always make sure that this is at an angle or at least showing an angle. And even if I'm not drawing it here, at least I insinuate that there's a plane shift
Mm-hmm.
with that line.
Yeah, sometimes like just having it in mind, and you will like make like maybe like little hinge, and it will already work very well. So it's
Yeah.
important like at least have like a more nuanced idea of what you're drawing. So it's very interesting. It's like anatomy, right? Like if we like,
Yeah.
you can just like take some manga book, like how to draw manga, and just draw this like basic patterns and make it look like humans. But then you can see its difference when you have like real enhanced knowledge of anatomy, because this will you will have all this like thousand of nuances, you know, how to
Mhm.
put little curvatures there, and it will just make this like hand look like massive, I don't know, like muscles and stuff, gray, or put some grace.
Mhm.
um and it's like it's hard to explain. It's just you just became more and more sophisticated in your work. And other people also, like when they get to this point, like they want to like get some more nuances, they will kind of understand it. But if like somebody who is totally outsider, all this is make no sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's just too much to take in.
Mhm.
Yeah,
uh
with copying manga stuff or just copying stuff. As kids, I think we copied a lot, and we copied a lot of artists that we liked. But the
mhm.
other challenge was like as a kid, like noticing, Bruce Timm,
Who
uh, Bruce Timmy, who's or
of
studying.
mhm.
Let's stick with Mobius, like
Uh-huh.
studying Mobius
Mobius.
and
Mhm.
stuff, the lines and the way he approaches anatomy. Like it's easy to copy, but then can you create your own character with a different body type than Arzak, but still make it look like Mobius? Like that was always like a challenge that I gave myself. Can I draw a big guy, big buff
Mhm.
guy, but have it still look like a Mobius character?
Mhm.
Noticing all the nuances that Mobius puts. If Mobius drew a deltoid, would how much of that deltoid would he draw? He wouldn't draw all the sinew
Mhm.
muscle stuff. He'd draw just enough that it still looked like Mobius, and not super
Mhm.
detailed with there's no hatch lines, right? I mean,
Mhm.
not a traditional sense.
Yeah.
JG, in the comment, he has a question. How much does film or filmmaking influence your camera work in your comics? Oh, I'll watch YouTube stuff about movies, and I'll try to remember what I see, but I don't always remember what I see. I think subconsciously something like this would pop out.
Mhm.
This panel, I wanted to be a fisheye lens, but I just couldn't
Mhm.
figure out how to keep showing the city stretch out to this side, to the corners,
Uh-huh,
without
uh-huh.
having it warped in that round lens where it would just the city would only be would only, end up here.
So do you want to show horizon line here with a fisheye?
No,
No?
no, I don't. No, I don't think so.
Uh, oh, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's me. Maybe I can imagine what this can be. Because fisheye maybe mean is this like curvilinear horizon line, even if you don't show it. So let's say if we have horizon line like this, then will be a nadir. It will be here. So we will have this kind of Z vanishing point here. So for fisheye, you just, like any of these perspective types, you just need to remember structures. And then you can skew them whatever you like. So like I show here, can move curvature, not so extreme. So structure for fisheye, like here, it will be like a Z axis will go like this. So it's like horizon line, right? And then after horizon line, Z axis goes this way and became vertical, like merge with the Y axis, right? Like this. So it's direction of this Z axis. I can extend it here. And vertical, so it's nadir, Y axis, nadir, will go kind of like, so here kind of moment, interesting moment. You see, like I make a curve, right? It's intersect horizon line. You can also choose where it will intersect. And the point here actually between this and this point, like Z vanishing point on horizon line and the nadir, you choose where you want to place kind of like a camera direction, like this cross, right? Like where is, it's like, because if camera look here, it will be flat horizon line, but because it's looked down, it's became like curved. And so in default it's like in the middle here, right? But you can play around with that. So it's like I say, structure can be flexible. Nobody will notice. It's not kind of like a major mistake or something. It's just flexibility. You can put it anywhere. But let's say here, right? So if this one is kind of like camera direction, and this point is where X axis kind of will have this straight line. So like we have in this structure, we have y-axis as a straight line here at this like 90 angle degree according to horizon line, right? Like, make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and for x axis, it will be in a 90 degree with this y-axis. So it's kind of on a point where is like camera direction, this kind of cross. So it's like intersection of y and x straight lines.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when it's intersect horizon line, we will have like left x and the right x vanishing points. So, and then you kind of, you draw, like because you have this straight and horizon line curve, here you can draw like transition. It will be x-axis. And then here, x-axis going like continuing curvature of a horizon line. It's like...
Okay, can you make your screen big?
Big, okay, second. Okay. Let me move it up.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of like all trick here. It's about this curves of oh, your wait a second. Oh no, it's like my zoom is off. Jesus Christ. Так. I don't know. It's like Zoom have need to pay. Trick is it? Okay, let me finish with this perspective. So trick is to know how curvature of axis works, right? So like we have this x here is straight, then here it's merge, like gradually merge with the horizon line, and then it's continue curvature of horizon line, like kind of like exploding, kind of like this. And then here it will do like this curvature intersecting nadir this way, and same will have like a gradient kind of transition between strides and to this curvature, and then it's go continue here. So what we have, you see, it's z kind of going like this, going into horizon line. Here it go continue kind of curvature of horizon line until it merge with the y straight line. And then we take y axis, this nadir, and we kind of draw in this. So up it go like this, and then it go like this. So basically it's just kind of structure you need to memorize, and all this like level of curvature, placement of this camera cross, it's flexible points. It's kind of like all trick with a perspective. You learn types of structures and you play with flexible, kind of you play how to make them flexible. Like you need to feel limitation of this. Okay, so let me connect back to Erwin, because yeah, victory. Так. Yeah, so, and I didn't know this fisheye perspective. Like I even have no clue it exists until it was like somebody requests me to, I forget name, but he requests me to study breakdown perspective of Japan artist Omao. So then I was kind of find out about this stuff. So anyways, there's like tutorial also talking about this. It's like Omao.
You have a tutorial on this?
Yeah, this is like
Okay.
Omao, and also like kind of fisheye perspective tutorial. So it's not difficult. It's just like you need drawing a couple times, so it will be very easy, clear. So yeah, nice. Okay. So you kind of like, you imagine now, right? Like you can just like place this pattern over your like same way like you draw this 3-point perspective grid. It can be this XYZ curvilinear, and it's not so hard to draw. You can do it freehand. This kind of interesting. Interesting kind of secret here is actually you don't need tools for draw like crazy perspective.
No, yeah, fisheye lens Yeah, you don't have to use a ruler. You can, yeah, just like you say, you can just make it up. And I think that's also why Kim Jong-gi also used fisheye lens because there's no needed sense of a ruler. There's no use of a ruler because the view is skewed. He can get away with a lot of stuff at first glance. But if, again, like you mentioned before, if you keep studying his stuff, you can point out the inaccuracies. But it's okay because then you pull your eye back and the whole
Yeah,
thing works. Yeah.
because it's kind of like you when you practice perspective, for example, like one of any other similar stuff, what you learn, it's like you, and what you kind of should learn is to understand flexibility kind of this structure. So you know, like if you go in too far, it will lost this realism, and in same time you should sometimes you need to distort it a little bit because this will be kind of evidence of your own work. So you're not just like let's say like a Procreate, right? You can use this guides, perspective guides in the Procreate, and like I hate this. I don't like it. You know, like it's just like result of it is so boring. And it's actually for me it's like example like I better draw my freehand not perfect perspective grid, and it will have this kind of quality of my own work instead of some like geometry like from 3D program.
Yeah. Yes. I Yeah, totally. What I'm
Uh,
also envious of your
mm,
stuff too is that you don't, even if you're using the 3-point perspective or especially with the vehicle stuff, you're not even though I didn't do it here either, you didn't use any straight edge with it. And like
or
all your
this.
reference stuff,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, a ruler. You didn't use a ruler. And then
uh,
even with like the stuff that you piled on top of the vehicles, like there's still no ruler. It's still referential of something. Cause I kind of just I just make it up a bit. It's like, you just put cylinders and squares up top. But then with your stuff and then with other people's stuff, I go, oh, I know that's a container, and I know that's a round container or something.
mhm, mhm.
I think it's just building up
Yeah, yeah,
preferences and see.
yeah, it's just like you learn how to make it convenient for yourself. So it will be not like obligation, but like funny juggling, kind of. Yeah, it should be like a jazz, I think.
Oh yeah.
Так, so cool. So right now your drawing is your comic book. I always forget name, like a super angry warrior, right?
Oh yeah, the angriest
Ah,
warrior.
it's the
I
angriest.
created, yeah. I created it in 2017. It's about an already enraged barbarian traveling the lands of the old world to search for his missing sword. For the
Mhm.
more without it, the more angrier he gets.
Oh, cool. So
But
it's your story, or you collaborate?
uh, this story, yeah, this story is written by this particular story. This one is titled Angriest Warrior, Crooked Crucible, and it's written by my friend Warrick Walker.
Mhm.
One This issue one. I already forgot how many issues this is supposed to be. I think it's around 8 or 9 issues. But we're planning on doing the first three on Kickstarter later after Super Boys. And once those 3 issues are done, I think that we'll be comfortable enough to start pitching it to different comic book companies.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to pitch it now to comic book companies, but then also I don't want if it does get picked up, then that would be me chasing to get to the end of the next issue. If there's three already done, then there's some leeway, some cushion time cushion to work on the next issue. If that makes sense.
So it will be like some kind of like Image Comics. I mean, this stuff.
Yeah, we could be
Mm-hmm.
pitching it to Image, another. We've also looked at other companies too, like Mad Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, and it's like 30 pages for chapter.
This issue is going to be 44, and I think the rest of the books will also be 44 pages each. Uh, you can also kind of consider each issue being two chapters in a sense, if each issue was 22 pages. But they're not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily exactly 22 pages each, you know. But they'll be 44 pages
Mm-hmm.
per issue.
Cool. So you making comic books, you making toy sculptures.
Yeah. Yeah, Toy's been doing it with since 2015, first working with independent artist named Noel Danger. I think they've changed their name on Instagram since, but I was working with his stuff on 3 3/4 figures, and then that got noticed by Jesse DeStasio of Toy Pizza. So I made
Uh,
this is one of the recent ones.
cool.
Another
So
recent one is this one, The Mangler by Toyfinity.
it's like you make it in 3D or in the clay, and after you make it plastic.
Yeah, I use putty in I sculpt traditionally, and I use putty, a two-part compound that starts off soft and then cures by itself
Mm-hmm.
in within 2 hours. So there's a 2 hour
Mm-hmm.
working time
Mm-hmm.
when working on these, and I sculpt these to scale. Usually with toys, they sculpt two up. So like if they were making something like a 3 3/4 inch figure like this, they would sculpt it 7 inches,
Mm-hmm.
and then with the molding technique, it's able to shrink it down to get to this size. I don't have that, so I
Mm-hmm.
have to do it 1 to 1 scale. And the cool thing about these figures, these use the Galios system, which is essentially a peg and hole system, and each peg and hole
Oh.
is the same size. So you can take this arm, this figure, and then replace it
Ah,
on
cool.
another figure. And then sometimes there's figures that have other
Uh-huh.
peg holes so that you can connect
Uh-huh. Oh, and you
with
can
that or advertise it.
switch heads. Mm.
Yeah. Which
Oh,
it.
that's cool. Uh-huh. Nice. Cool. So, and also you do murals
I've done
and
murals in the past. Yeah.
mhm.
The last mural that we've done was I think the last mural that I've ever done was in San Diego in I don't know, maybe like 2018 or yeah, 2018. I think that's like the last time I did
Mhm.
murals. Um, they are fun to do, but they are also it is a lot, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Flork
Yeah.
asks epoxy. Yes, I use epoxy. This
Mhm.
one. I use Dave's box.
Okay. Box. Mhm.
That then 2018 we started Ink and Drink Long Beach, which was a and still is a art event, a monthly art event that we do at a bar in Long Beach called Supply and Demand, 2500 East Anaheim Street. We do that monthly. The next event is Thursday, April 24th. But then during the pandemic, we weren't able to do those live events, and we moved over to Discord. And because of Discord, we started doing projects together. And the newest project is Sewer Boys, which
Mhm.
some of
Mhm.
the audience members are part of. Jason Lego, JG, and Floric have all submitted pages
Mhm.
to Sewer Boys 2, and it's going to be a great looking book. I already know that. I've seen
Mhm.
most of the pages.
So your first Kickstarter, Savage Boys, it was about Turtle Ninja.
The first Sewer Boys, yeah, was about the Ninja Turtles, covering
Ninja
the
Turtle.
first issue of the Ninja Turtles book, which the original book was 40 pages. But
Mhm.
then because we did a remix, we got the original page up to past 40. I think it's close to 60 pages. I got it right here. We call it a remix because each page is done by a different artist. The
Mhm.
characters in the pages are either a version of a turtle or the turtle is replaced by a different character. And even still, the context of the story changes, dialogue changes per creator, artist. The designs of
Oh.
the turtles change. This one's by Bob Kurthy. This is Bob Kurthy's page number one. The other aspect of the remix is that pages repeat themselves. Imagine a DJ scratching a song and changing and like using the beat but scratching the beat, so they scratch it repeatedly, repeatedly. Same thing happens here. The page gets repeated uh again. This is Philip McVan's page one, and
Mhm.
now you can see his version of the turtles. The way he approaches page one's very different from Bob. Bob uses the standard one from the original, where there's a panel up here with dialogue on the side, splash page on the bottom, much like
Mm.
Kevin Anthony Catalan's page one, where he uses the panel again, dialogue on the side, and then panel on the bottom. But this time it's not the turtles, but the bootleg versions or the rip-off uh, characters of the turtles: Street Sharks, Samurai Pizza Cat, SWAT Cat, and Biker Mice from Mars.
Mm. Biker Cats. Yeah, that's cool. Mhm.
There we go. Traditional um, double page splash from Kevin,
Mhm.
and then Nathaniel Osoyo's double page. Turtles still leaping down, but now it's in Nathaniel style. This one's mine. I
Oh,
substituted
cool.
the turtles for Marvel characters.
Mhm.
Another team of
Nice.
four.
Yeah.
This was the in the 90s, the Fantastic Four got replaced by these characters: Ghost Rider, Hulk, and Spider-Man and Wolverine for a multi-issue story. And
Mm.
then this is Philip McVan's double page spread, redesigned the turtles again, but using making an homage to Jim Lee's X-Men number one cover,
Mhm.
with Shredder replacing Magneto. Magneto's circular energy from the first issue is now replaced by the Technodrome, which I think it's
No,
ingenious, and it just keeps going. Here's Jason
nice. Yeah,
Legos.
yeah, yeah.
Let's flip to real quick since they're in the chat to GG's.
Yeah, this like Technodrome is my favorite and Turtles.
Oh my, that thing was the coolest thing when that came out. Did you have that? Did you also have the layer, the sewer layer, the house, the sewer
uh,
house?
what do you mean layer?
The the sewer playset that the turtles lived in. Did you have that too?
I mean, in my country, I mean this.
Yeah, or as a kid. You had the Technodrome as a kid?
No, no. I mean, I was just because my childhood was in Russia. I seen like this turtle uh, animation.
Oh,
This
yes,
like
yes.
90s, maybe, right? Like original, like very cool. There was like more brutal. I think this was like really cool turtles this time, and I also draw kind of them. I did a lot of drawings of turtles,
Uh-huh.
but I only have only one comic book. Um, like I don't know, I was like 8 year old maybe, and it's been like torn. Like I was fighting with my brother, so now it's like torn on the half.
Funny.
It's like real ninja comic book.
Was it called something else?
Teenage Ninja
Oh, it's
Turtle.
still the same thing. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like was very badass. Like how this like beginning, like this like lasers and radiations, and they're
Yeah.
and
Oh,
in
yeah.
a pizza. I never seen pizza kind of in the real life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like my first introduction to pizza was in Turtle Ninja.
Did
So
they
like,
translate? Because they always, Michelangelo always liked anchovies on pizza.
uh,
Did they substitute it anchovies for something else?
no, no,
It
because
was still
like
anchovies.
yeah, yeah. In a way, in my time, it was no sense anyway. And so it's just like some kind of foreign food. I have
Oh,
no,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so their approach was just show it, just say what it is. Was it in English and then subtitled in the language or
No, they dubbing it. They
oh they
was
dubbed
like,
it?
yeah, actually, like voices was very good, like very
Wow.
professional voice actors. But like intro song, when the if it was like dubbed translated version, they change lyrics completely.
Oh, do you
Just
remember what the lyrics were?
like they just make it like I don't know, it's more I don't know, it's like kind of like for a school song, like more
Huh,
appropriate kind of from their perception, I think. I don't know.
that is interesting.
Yeah. I will later send you a link like on YouTube.
Oh
It
yeah.
should be some like Russian turtles.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So and why you choose to make this kind of collaboration and like how to say
Oh,
collective homage format?
yeah. We the initial idea was to collaborate on something that was a popular story from our childhood,
Mm,
something that's just so popular with not just artists and comic book fans, but like people just know Ninja Turtles.
hmm
It's like that was, I think, just like the smartest thing to do. It's just so practical. Like you can grab, people know what it is, and because people know what it is, they'll find it accessible.
hmm
Um, and because we were not just remaking it, but remixing it, that let the artist do pretty much anything they wanted to do. The limits was only to reappropriate the story, but there was no limitations on their style, on who they wanted to draw, on almost what page they wanted to draw. We did have assigned pages, but then we also had an aspect in the project where artists were also able to choose which pages they wanted to draw as well. After their
Mm-hmm.
assigned pages, they got to also pick other pages because there's like that double page spread in the beginning. Everybody wants to do that page.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's other pages too, like the fight scene with Shredder. People want to do that page too. We just know people are going to want to do those pages, so we also had that as an option. And then because we that project worked out so well, we decided to do the new one based
Mm-hmm.
on Giant Size X-Men. Don't snitch on us, please don't sue us. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, we decided to do the new one based on Giant Size X-Men #1 from 1975. This story is another classic popular story. Again, X-Men is popular. People know what that is. They might not know all the characters, but they know X-Men. Um, and it kind of loosely relates to Ninja Turtles because while Ninja Turtles took a lot from Daredevil, uh, the Turtles are also teenage mutants, which the
Mm-hmm.
X-Men originally were. This one is this time we're remixing a story that has been regarded as the start of the Bronze Age, just before the modern age of comics. Another popular team book, and we have so much more participants. The Comic Book Keepers podcast episode is there if you want to check that out. That's finally posted. Look at that list of artists.
Yeah,
That's a
crazy.
lot. We have a pinup by Jim Mahfood. So very excited to show that off, and a bunch of other great artists, including the people here. Matthew Vasquez, hello. The painted TMNT graphic novels were the best. Oh boy, were
Nice.
they. And then
So,
the Flork says, in Russia, the turtle layer you. I don't know. Do you know that joke? Are you familiar with that?
not sure. I think you mean like they're like ultra violent, no?
Oh, there was do you know, are you familiar with Saturday Night Live? I think that's
Oh,
where it originated from. It's a
mhm.
comedy TV show where it's they do skits, a bunch of comedians, a group of comedians, and they'll do skits, and
Skits.
they'll just do like routines, comedy routines.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the routines was I don't know why, but one of the routines was about Russia, and I guess because it was the 80s, they were
Mm-hmm.
saying like in Russia it was like opposite of America, right? Because there's that
Yeah, yeah.
opposition there. Oh man, I don't even know what the joke is anymore. But it would always be the opposite thing. Like in America, uh, people drive cars, but in Russia, a car drives you, drives
Uh-huh.
people.
Okay, so it's like a
I
kind of
think
like a
that,
comedy brainstorming kind of.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, like, Russia is crazy place for sure. It's some kind of like social jungle. You know,
Oh,
it's because I don't know like about other developing countries. Let's say, um, it's like a lot of weird stuff happen outside of capital. So like if you go like to Moscow, it's like, oh, it's amazing, rich country, civilized. Yeah, go outside Moscow. You will see what is real Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that happens. I think it's always like that.
Mm.
It's always like that in different places. Oh, the Flork is explained it much better than I tried to. He said mainly just saying that it's a harder life in Russia, which is kind of what you were
Uh,
alluding to.
yeah, it's all this like hard subjects. Like I mean, like
Yeah.
comparing countries. Like I was in
Yeah.
Hong Kong, for example, and Hong Kong is like I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing place. I love it. But there is like parallel world with its own conditions. And in Hong Kong, because it's so small space, billionaires have this like house with a yard, right? So it's like having house with a yard is like only billionaire can afford in Hong Kong. And in Russia, it's kind of average houses like
Yeah.
it's kind of like middle class and sometimes lower middle class kind of they have even bigger yards and a bigger house kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that here too.
so it's
Like
like
that.
people can like they get accustomed to Russian mess and they just like this huge space, maybe, I don't know, for example, so they will feel like stuffed in Hong Kong even with all these opportunities with like high pace, like you can like make a lot of stuff in Hong Kong. Like in my area in Russia, like where I'm from, it's like is like a how's it, marsh, right? It's like nothing happens there. Like just drink, became like constantly drunk.
Well,
Yeah. No, and now, like I mean, now it's like absolutely ridiculous. Like I even like afraid to go into this team. Like I'd say, like I'm kind of uh, it's just ridiculous, unacceptable. What is Russia doing right now? Like in every way.
it it is it is crazy
Mhm.
that all this stuff is happening now. Because remember, like going to school and reading about stuff like this
Mhm.
in history books. Like that was history.
Yeah,
That was like
yeah, yeah.
what 40 years ago. Well, back then, now it's like 60 years ago. But like, that stuff like happened 60 years ago, 70 years ago, and it's happening again.
Yeah, I was just
It's wild.
recently. Mhm. Yeah, I
No,
was
no,
just
go.
recently read like some guy writing about Cold War, like say like they was living in the fear, all this like art about like fear of nuclear war and stuff. And like uh 3 year ago, it was like when like Russia invaded Ukraine, Putin was talking like first a week, like I was watching like all this Russian news or like Russian media, everybody was like crazy, like, and when I watched like Russia government, they all like was like this, like what the hell is happening, it's something like it's not what we expected, like nobody was ready for this, they think it will be like some like they're just showing off their power, like everybody is succumb and no kind of casualties and stuff, but there was like a bloodbath, it's like crazy, it's like there is like a lot of was like this video and stories and like intercepted calls about how like imagine there's like huge line of like Russia army vehicles, like I forget this word how it calls, but no, it's kind of like a march, right, like they're on the road moving all these vehicles inside Ukraine. It's like hundreds of them, and they like just all vanished. And like how like entire like huge part of Russia army was like vanished in the first week. Like most elite forces, they just been like became a smash potato kind of, you know. So and then Putin was like this, like what the hell, like and everybody was like this, like should we like um, oppose Kremlin, or if we will stay together, it will benefit for us in the future. So currently, they feel like they're win. So like not sure like right now, but recent kind of couple weeks, they feel like they're in the win, and. Uh, And the Putin, yeah, was first week he was talking about beginning nuclear war just directly, like in the Russian language, in all Russian mediums, they was talking about they want to destroy Britain, they will send nuclear missiles to America everywhere, just say like don't kind of tread on us, kind of this, we will nuke you all. And on English, no, you will never see it. They don't translate it in English. You know.
Oh, they don't. Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, it's kind of, you see, it's interesting nuances here.
That is crazy. It's
Yeah, and I was like,
crazy to live like that,
yeah.
like that now.
And it's still kind of like right now, it's all unstable. It's pretty much like this Caribbean crisis, something very close call. So I was kind of doing this my channel. I was literally in the state, in the mood. I was like, okay, probably it's in end of the world. So what should I do? Okay, maybe I do some video on YouTube.
Well, hey, we need that. We need you need to teach perspective. I want to know.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
uh-huh.
do you have any when you are doing these lives and you are drawing when you are drawing perspective, are there
Mhm.
certain things that you always do? Not to say that you can get away with it, but to always make it look convincing. Like, oh, I just add this stuff. If I add these things,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna look good. As far as vehicles or buildings, because I always see I was going through your Instagram
Hmm.
last night and I, I I noticed there was a one drawing. I think you were in somewhere in Asia, and it was of a cityscape, and then the camera pans out or it switches to another scene where you were doing pretty much just a life study of uh, the city. I was like, oh yeah, of course. Like that's how you make it look convincing because you use real life as a reference. But do you notice anything from real life
Uh-huh.
as far as I don't know things piling up against each other, the certain way and buildings are situated that repeatedly shows up when you're doing these references, or is there anything that you repeatedly do in your
uh,
drawings because you know it's always going to work? I don't know if I asked that question correctly.
yeah, I think let me. It's something like I'm not really aware. Uh, when I draw like outside, like real life environment, uh, key kind of trick, which is also is like my some I try to get away from it. It's stacking details.
Oh,
So
oh,
it's
can we just screen pick again?
like when I'm not sure what I'm doing,
Mm.
so I will just draw details, you know. So point is like make something look like it's a real object from real life. You know, like you draw apple, you know, like uh, I don't know. So here, I don't know. So it should be something look realistic and properly drawn, like some realistic element, like a door, window, or shoes. So you can mess up a lot, but if there is some like realistically properly drawn elements, it will look professional.
Uh-huh.
So, and when like more I confuse or not sure kind of what am I doing or like how I want to finish my work, I will just like pile up, I will just put a lot of different details there because it's just like I don't know like where is my vision kind of, right? So maybe
Yeah.
like I will find some example. Oh, oh, yeah. So like here, like even the serial camera can capture it or not. It's just like
Oh, or you might have to make your screen big or that screen big.
yeah. So
God damn, look at that shit. Ooh. Oh yeah, I think that's the one I was looking at.
so
Oh no, that's not the one. Oh, but yeah, but look at that though. Ooh.
like now I want to, instead of drawing like just like stone after stone, I wish to learn how to make it a pattern,
Uh,
like
uh-huh.
like a Tread Moore kind of. For me, is like he's like a genius with this.
Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So like these trees. So I like I want to make it like buildings and trees, right? And then it just
Mhm.
became like you're mixing it. So
I
build
see.
and tree, like creating this music composition. And yeah, basically it's like my main principle. It's juggling with elements,
Mhm.
and then it's
With
like, uh-huh.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, juggling with elements, and these elements have like many levels, like what what you define by element, right? So you can define it as some kind of like real thing, like human, car, lamp. What else? Like there's like a rooftop with this stuff. So it's kind of like verbal, real thing.
Mhm.
Uh, then you can define that as a like abstract composition element. So like when we have like bubble shapes, this, or when we have like this like Akira kind of radiating lines,
Uh-huh.
or it's
Yeah.
like corners, blocks, whatever, like patterns. So key, I think, like for me, what I always I keep kind of like defining it to be more and more precise and professional kind of with this. Um, Key is to be decisive and have like your own idea what is element you're placing in your picture. So it's like here is like, I mean, like you see, it's like clear definition and distinction between this kind of second roots, clouds, and ground.
Mhm.
They're coexisting. They make each other kind of interesting. So like this opposite type of design. Um, so and you kind of like juggling with contrast, juggling with different types and kinds of elements, and it's like meaning. Not like it's a verbal, like a clear element, and then it's abstract element, and then it's also a kind of narrative element. So it's like when I want to kind of give more like a story or narrative kind of information, like say like what is Taiwan, or like what is this town. You can see like old people like sitting, enjoying his life. Maybe he remember his childhood. He kind of sit and look somewhere like far away. There can be like some tourist with a bicycle. There we can see some mother with the children, and some like this girl from school. So she is like kind of enjoying bird. So I make them distinctive, right? So we can say clearly like this is not a girl, this is a dude with a bicycle kind of. And this like we can read as a children, so it's not confusing, it's not just make it clear and no, you know, just make it clear. And then like I kind of like where I'm reaching to, it's like I want to make it like meanings, also multiple layers. So what if like if you put some another meaning, it can be whatever. Maybe you are like some kind of like into how say conspiracy theory, for example, right? And you want to make this like secret code message. And I think it's like very powerful thing. People like really going crazy about conspiracy. Like it's kind of emotionally, it's like, you know, like hitting this like organ, like da da da. Everybody's like, oh, so heated immediately, kind of. Or some kind of like religious, mystical kind of notes, right? So I tried also to get there. I learning how to do this. So what if, for example, like what it can be actual story behind this picture is like Buddha incarnation, this girl, something like this, you know. And it can be like about me being everybody in a different bodies, kind of. It's me in a different bodies, kind of. Whatever, just like you start to imposing like multiply layers. So when you have this, it's kind of like you create, like I have this theory, like when you think about certain layer or about certain type or aspect of your work, at least you make it be. So maybe nobody will understand it, and maybe you cannot do it like properly, but at least you kind of like ignite it, right? Like say like, okay, now it's like have this amount of layers, and people start to kind of feel it, and they start to kind of like, hey, he definitely telling something about on this layer. There's definitely some kind of like, I see it is like symbolism, like religious symbolism, or like some links to conspiracy theories, like, you know, like Gnosticism or like Kabbalah, whatever you choose, right? There's like a lot of different interesting stuff. So, and or it can be like a commentary. And actually then I realize if we look like historical works, they all like that. They always have a symbol layer, which is this kind of like actual reason for making work. Maybe they're like they might be like members of Freemasons or some kind of like Rosencross kind of group. So for them, it's like they're like a Rammstein. Like, have you seen Rammstein? Zeit music video.
Oh, not in a long time. I remember Du Haus.
Okay, so Rammstein is all kind of they have this like kind of like Masonic communist secret society in the German. It's called it's like some like Saturn, something like that. like there like very weird occultism, like Masonic like, and Rammstein, they're definitely into this stuff. Like, or they're members, or they joking about it. So like I have no idea. Like it's kind of like a humor, or seems like they're very serious actually. So
Hmm.
if you look like their music video Zeit and Adieu, it's kind of like it's not just art kind of. I think they in more properly will say they use art form to make some kind of like occult ritual. So for them, they're kind of like creating, because it's like it's filled with a symbolism which is not accidental. It's absolutely solid, cohesive thing. It's crazy. It's very interesting. And I was like, when I first time watched this, it's like it's there's so much kind of pushing you into this perception, of some this like a huge underlying vibe, kind of like this like whoa. And I was just like, I want to verbalize what they actually do. Like, it doesn't look like they doing it accidental, just like, hey, let's do cool stuff. So, and then I find they're kind of just like recreating this, like they using symbolic language to make narrative, which is like kind of like ceremony, kind of, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, like in the Hollywood, and I mean, like this is not conspiracy. This is just like a fact. Like, why they do it? Then we go. It's became a conspiracy because I have no idea why they do it. But there is definitely these dudes who doing it as a kind of like religious practice. So, and I think like, oh, I have kind of my own let's say uh cosmology, kind of, right, like my own worldview, and this is just kind of a layer of artwork you definitely can use. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've noticed that a lot in the older paintings. There is a lot of symbolism. There's probably a lot of stuff that it's funny that they hide it, but then like they hide it in plain sight. I always like I remember the Memento Mori skull,
mm.
that skewed skull between the two guys. It was like a portrait. There's like skull on the bottom, but it's
Yeah,
skewed.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can only
yeah, I
see it
mean,
from a certain angle. Like it's
yeah,
like right
all
there.
Renaissance, it's like this.
Yeah.
They're really funny. This was like Hermetism, I think, and also Möbius. Möbius, like if you've seen his comic book World of Edena,
Uh-huh.
so it's Hermetic stuff. So like for Möbius, uh, seems to. He's like you can find his. Not workshop, like kind of like a meeting with some people in Europe. I forgot, like, or maybe it was America. So he on the stage he tell about his psychedelic experience in the desert. He
Oh
was
yeah.
like, I think he was eat peyote or something like this. So he like very much into Castaneda and all this stuff. So he says this was for him like a transcendental experience. Since then he started to use imagery of desert. like all the time. So this Arzak and all this stuff. So, and I think it's also opened him to theme of hermetism, and in the world of Edena, it's kind of hermetic comic book, kind of can say.
Yeah, I could see that. I think just part of that is also in the Arzak thing too, because Arzak's like a nomad
Mhm.
traveling the
No,
land.
it's definitely all about desert, about uh, like mm, kind of illusion of life and kind of mystery of death. I don't know, something like this, you know. Because here also interesting. I just try to find my picture I want to show. So, um, right, like right now, if we see this main conspirology kind of talking about, they even like talking about flat Earth, you know, and like it's very interesting. Like, I mean, for me, it was just like interesting, like how powerful it's on people. They really like thrilled with this stuff. Like, I wish like my comic book make people thrill, you know. So, and there is like two. mm, okay, like so conspirology based on Gnosticism. So Gnosticism is like inverted Christianity. Like, no, if talking right now, I don't talk like historically, all the stuff. So it's like if we talk this Matrix movie, it's a Gnostic movie. So there is like they making Jesus figure, but they actually use him as a kind of antichrist figure. So, and the idea of like our real world is not world made by God, but is like world made by demon, and kind of like a prison for our souls. So it's kind of like all cool. Like you can use a comic book for this, you know, like you can make like cyberpunk and stuff. So um, Hermetics, they kind of developed this idea before Gnostics, and it's not so dark. They don't call it like a demon and stuff. No, it's like about um, some kind of like it's like our world is like virtual reality, kind of this, you know? And Möbius, he reflects on this a lot in his work. So it's kind of his worldview. I think looks like it's his actual worldview.
That is interesting. Mobius did that. There was a book where he did drawings. When he was under
Mhm.
the influence in the desert. I think 40 Days, I think is what it's called.
Mm. No, no, I have this like art of Edena, and I have his comic book where he's let me find it's like he walking in the desert.
Oh, maybe that's the one.
Inside Möbius. So the interesting is like it looks like he drew it without pencil. He just kind of like loose, freehand.
Wow. Yeah. I'm so envious of like the stuff that of what they can get, what he can get away with.
You mean
With the drawing, with just drawing, he doesn't have to add. He's not adding what I would have added.
Mm.
He just has a certain level of detail, and that's it. Because he knows that's all it needs. I always add detail because I'm overcompensating for what I can't do. I'm trying to trick the audience, like saying, if I put all this detail, then it's a good drawing.
Yeah. This is also what I was talking about. And here I like her. You know Ryan Berry, Nine Monkeys.
No, I don't know.
Nine Monkey.
Oh, Nine Monkeys. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of do it perfectly. I think like he making like balance between details. So he like make these areas where it's like very little details, an area where it's like very busy.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows how to do it.
So here I have like so yeah, let me also maybe I'll make it bigger. It's like I had a dream one day. I don't know why. It was like maybe after Queen in England passed away, kind of, and I had a dream like I drink tea with the England Queen, and it's like no, we drink tea, eat this like oatmeal cookies, and I just was talking about some because I think like okay, she's seen a lot in her life. Like maybe she can give me some advice. Like and I say like something. Yeah, I was talking with her about meaning in my works. I say like I want to make really like meaningful work. I looking for narratives, and so I want to kind of like reward my viewers with really like compelling and also good story. But sometimes I worry I make it too busy, too messy, and it's like nobody really understand what I'm showing. And just say, you know, maybe you should do right now, like draw whatever, just and draw it like most crazy and weird and obscure you can, so nobody will totally understand what is in your drawing. And so like okay, interesting. So I wake up and I kind of draw in this picture, like it was I have like a reference for this tree. And I kind of put England Queen kind of sitting there with a machine gun. And so initially it was like I just like kind of relationship of artificial and real life stuff, right? Like this tree and cables.
Yeah.
But then like it's because I kind of create this another layer of kind of you know, a kind of secret meaning, maybe. I don't know how to say. It's like a symbolic meaning. Well, yeah, symbolic meaning. So, and you can start to imagine what is actually about. And because here you see, I also like it just kind of like naturally happen. You just start to put stuff like they appear from nowhere. It became kind of like a Adam kind of scene. Like we have like is instead of Eve we have Queen. She with a machine gun, and then tree is like a tree of life,
Mm.
and it's chopped. It's like it's being like cut off, and
Oh yeah.
now it's kind of born again, or it's kind of try to live through all this like urban mess, and
Right.
like intentionally I will never make it. So it's just kind of like partly it was my effort here. Other part is just appear naturally. This kind of nuances, and also similar have this one. So it's kind of view on Taiwan mountains. In Taiwan, we have here like indigenous population. They're very much something like forget these places. For me, they look like American Indians. They don't look Asian. So like
Mm.
Taiwan Aboriginal. So in their area, they have a lot of all this indigenous stuff. So even like um, on the road, they drew people here.
Oh, they drew
So
that?
yeah, it have like on these pillars kind of drawing of their indigenous people. Probably it means something.
Is that
And
is that would that be considered graffiti or was that like a I don't know. Uh
no, they're like decorative. Like
it's decorative, okay.
yeah, like they like
Okay.
ornaments, and also this kind of like
Mm.
not very realistic, but like figures, like
Yeah.
indigenous people.
Hmm.
So here, like I add this kind of like just aspect of a parallel, or like I don't know, like parallel reality, something like this. So it's like this mirror on the road
Oh.
showing ghost.
Huh. Did you add
So
that mirror or that's there?
no, mirror was there. I just like drew like like this kind of figure from here.
Uh-huh.
So it's like this is drawings, obviously, right? But when it's like in a mirror, I kind of like say like, hey, here's like actual spirit, kind of
Oh yeah.
like a local spirit here. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
So like I'm not very good in verbalizing it, but what I want to say, like when we have Matrix movie, right? Like remember when you see it first time, or like first Matrix.
Oh.
So it was like a breakthrough, right? It was like something like what, like,
You know, I was
and
all like, whoa, whoa.
yeah, it's like, am I crazy, or is they really show it? This is a real movie, kind of like that. So I think idea of art, like it's to expand our experience. So I've been like about more than 10 years, I was just totally only drawing real life. Just like go to real places. I was travel different country and just go outside and draw streets. And it's very interesting. I was like all the time I was make my own task for myself is capture underlying message. Like I believe is like our reality. It's like form of a message from like God, or universe for you. Like imagine it's some kind of um, like a signal, like this waves kind of, right? Like going contact you, and because you have body with receptors like eyes, sensation, all this stuff, you experience these waves as an objective reality. So it's like Kant, he called it nomen, this like unknown, from where is like there is kind of real world, and our world is only a chunk which you can perceive based on your biology. That's it. No, like with the colors, for example, you just cannot see more colors because you don't have receptors for to see more colors, kind of.
Yeah.
So then, like when you like experience reality, like you go outside to draw street, and what do you see? Like we have this like concepts and uh, like a standard narrative, like you say, it's very shallow, very primitive. It's like it's almost like nothing, like because you just walk from point A to B, and you only care about not being hit by something and don't like hit the wall, kind of like this, right? So you not register all these patterns, textures, waves, like how like things is communicating between each other, and you are totally not aware this is like mm, don't how to say. Let's say it's like it's bigger than your favorite band came to your hometown, or like directly like Rolling Stones just arrived to your apartment to make their biggest show in your apartment, kind of. It's bigger than anything like that, and it's happened like any moment, anywhere. Where are you? It's kind of life is this kind of mm, like undescribable, amazing event. So, and I kind of like just I get this when I was drawing outdoors. It's kind of very interesting. It's just like I was drawing, and then like, what am I actually drawing? Am I drawing buildings? Am I drawing like people, cars, and stuff? Then like, no, I want to draw something. What is really happen? What is actually happen? And then it's like it was like almost uh like if I was asking in the darkness, like, uh, is there anyone here? And this darkness replied to you. So then, like, I see, like, hey, actually, like, um, it's like environment constantly trying to say you something, and you can hear it, and you can tell it, like, share with others. And this kind of like I call momentum, like this kind of like energy of life. So now, like when I go to draw outside, I can kind of feel it, and I try to just notice how it's presented in this situation, so I can use these elements from environment and to recreate this information in my work. So it's became like this message, like emotional subconsciousness experience instead of just drawing. It's like, makes sense or it's too crazy?
Oh no,
Hmm.
it kind of makes sense. It's a little bit crazy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it makes sense. I think you have arrived at that conclusion because when you've been doing those studies, you're standing still. You're taking everything in.
Hmm.
Whereas people are walking through the streets trying not to get hit.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to, they're only paying attention to what they need to pay attention to. When you're standing still and you're copying with your own hand from what your own eyes are drawing, that's when you're starting to notice everything
Yeah, it's became
that you see.
like a symphony because you see
Hmm.
so many stuff happen simultaneously. Like let's say like moving cars on the road, then there is animal life, maybe like a weather because weather also constantly change, and then you see architecture, like a street, right? Actually, it's also flow. It's just like more in like slow in the time. So you can see is like right now you see stage, because like let's say like a building have its own lifetime, right? So it's been like uh, in this first kind of phase when it's built up, then phase like how it's became like worn out. So it's kind of a cycle or no, like a flow from beginning to the end. And then, like when you go to draw this building or this street, you you kind of like intercept it at a certain stage, at a certain period of its path. So it's just kind of you realize like how everything around you is alive and many different ways, kind of, right?
Yeah. Hey, take it all in. Do you ever, when you're drawing stuff from reference, do you ever omit or remove anything
Oh yeah,
because it's too specific and oh you do.
yeah. So I also like I I tell it's like what is first of all like what is difference between real life, like whatever you draw, like you draw like still life or you draw in someone portrait yourself or interior exterior real life, right? Like uh, it's a endless source of information. So practically it's like uh, no, we know it already, we just never take it seriously, kind of look at completely. You you kind of can endlessly zoom in and zoom out, right?
Um, um,
So it's kind of it's crazy. It's like it's evidence of a endless source of material. So this is what we dealing with when we draw in from real life. So it's all limited by your own definition of what you're dealing with. So you can have like whatever crazy perspective. You can be like some into some kind of religion, into some kind of mysticism, or you can be just like very lazy, superficial. I prefer to have some interesting like, and I play with the narratives. I like to play with different perspectives. Like I said, you can draw cars and pretend like right now you believe you in the world of transformers, and this car can transform in any moment. So actually, it's a real life form. It's a living creature. You can talk with this car, you know. So, and this um, you cannot say it's a mistake or a delusion. No, mm, it's a quality kind of artist work, right? We need to have perspective, and I think it's just like more powerful approach to be aware of it and use it for yourself. It's like impose your vision. So, and if we talk about like photograph or video, uh, it's um, it's half cook, or it's like already cook material. So it's like you buy a dumpling in a shop instead of cook your own food, or even it's like your um, yeah, you buy ready cooked dumpling and you want to use them to cook your own dish. Like how many options do you have to cook? What kind of dish you will cook from dumplings, right? You just like you limit yourself, you limit your options. Or like, oh yeah, oh perfect, yeah, perfect example. Let's say like you say, oh, I want to cook lunch for my family, right? So one option you can go like, yeah, you can have like your garden, you can grow your own vegetable stuff, or you can go to shop, buy ingredients, right? So you go like more narrow, or you can buy like 20 pizza, disassemble this pizza, and make your own dishes from pizza ingredients. So this is what artists do when they use a reference to make their own work. They use material which is already somebody work. Even if it's like photograph, it's already decisions been made by AI, kind of, this like automatic system in the camera, kind of, with its own like perspective distortion, with its own like white balance, all this stuff. You use processed material. It's not so powerful anymore. It's already like contained, chunked, cut, and processed. So, and after like my experimentations and thinking about all this stuff, I think it's totally okay to use processed materials, like from art world, like learn from them and or kind of borrow them. But it always will be better if you know difference. So, like if I draw Hong Kong, for example, it's better when I been myself in Hong Kong, and better if I did some drawings of Hong Kong. So I have this kind of my own creative connection to actual space. So then when I have my own photographs, or I have photographs or video from internet, this just became like a hyperlink to my own experience.
Yeah, because you can cross-reference.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm trying to just fake representation of Hong Kong, like using some like shortcuts. No, it just helped me to recall my experience.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, just like recall and stuff like this. And so it doesn't mean like we need to like draw comic books, like go outside and like draw everything from observation. It just means like I think it's important to draw from time to time, to go and draw it from observation. And me, I'm even here I will be like little like some kind of religious about this, because like for me it feels like a meditation, like like going to like, I think is how people go to church. I go to draw outside. It's really like clean my brain.
Yeah, drawing is just so meditative by itself. It's a little bit. Oh, what's your experience with it doing live though? Where you're drawing live?
Ah,
I guess less
mm,
meditative.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
More
is mm, 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 I don't know. It's like it's surreal, also kind of surreal, right? It's like it feels like it's kind of like artists wake up in this matrix reality where you need to be like a kind of character in a reality show. So I think this kind of like main concept behind all this. So and what is interesting, like what I'm doing right now there, I did like about 10 video and I think like, oh, that's it. I don't need to make any more video. I don't have any new tricks or something. You can find it in the books. People can find it in the other channels. But then I realized like if you want people to see your 10 videos, it's like need to be like 500 video at least.
Yeah. Yeah. You know this. Yeah, it's very again, like that's how I found your videos because I was trying to find people that were focusing on perspective. And yes, I could find it in the book, but it's very different reading about it in the book, especially if books have the even if the books have examples
Mm-hmm.
of perspective, but to see someone do it from from a blank page to, you know, like a 2 hour at the end, it's a filled page like that. It helps to see that example because it's a good starting off point for people to reference. You can, and I think, and you've been doing it too with the different studies with from the manga stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar, you know, there's only realistically uh conceivable or presentable stuff with drawing and perspective, you know, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point. Those are the main ones, but it's just nice to see it being done over and over again because it drives home like why these techniques work, why those rules work, and then seeing it being drawn, seeing where how to use it. Do you
Mm-hmm.
ever in your drawings like break rules of perspective anywhere?
Mm.
Veer off from the vanishing point and do the lines ever like trail off somewhere else?
Yeah, yeah, and it was many time it was like kind of you're drawing and you're doing these mistakes on the video, and it's like, oh my god, now like I will become like famous idiot. Like,
Uh,
and it's like it feels like everybody will like it will be like in the news, in the newspaper, like people like talking in the street about you, like look this guy, he teach us how to draw, and like he like mess up
oh,
with
I feel like that too. You know what? That's probably why I don't say that I'm teaching. I was like, hey, just watch me draw.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just hang out with me and draw. I'll show some stuff if I know stuff, then I'll show it. But or I'll just show the stuff that I think I know. I always know that there's someone else that can do it and explain it way better. Uh,
uh
I'm just
yeah, so
showing you.
sometimes like what how I do, I just see like nobody explain it this way, so I just want to explain it in a way nobody explained before, kind of this. And yeah, it's kind of like every time you do something, like it's like you're need to be bold enough, kind of. It's like you're I don't know. Yeah, it's like you became vulnerable. Like people can call it like a failure. They can say like, "Hey, you fail. Like you cannot draw and stuff like this." Same like with the comic books. Like, oh, I will draw comic book. Everybody say like, "Hey, you're no real artist." Mm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's just a universal reality of this stuff. Like, or you do nothing, or you in the
Yeah.
fear of being exposed and humiliated. And
Yeah.
like it's I have in Taiwan this work. I was like work mural artist. No, I mean it's still work, but it's like just case work. Sometimes they invite me and I will do. And my first couple of times when I was drawing these murals is like I never draw murals before, and it's public spaces, like people walking behind my back, and it's so embarrassing. And I was like first 10 times like I was like in a hell, it's like panic, and it's like, oh, it's so crazy. Like you need to find a way, you need to manage somehow, like keep doing it. And it's like it feels like 100% like you are already fail. Like it feels like people already joking about me. It's like wait, he drawn like 1 hour and it still looks like a sketch kind of. Where's details? Like well, or like I was like doing like workshops. Like I want to teach people how to draw environments, like share my experience. And they're like manager kind of like presenting me, say like, hey, here is like artist. He will, and now he will high school. Um, they have like super kind of dreadful way to say it's kind of like he will show his skills, demonstrate his skills. Kind of. so like for me, I was like, I will just draw something like explain principles, but shit, like, okay, he will demonstrate his skills, kind of like, wait a second, like I need to prove I'm a real artist.
Yeah. I
Like,
think they say it like that because that's the only way that they can describe what artists do. Because
uh,
to someone that doesn't draw, I always have to remind myself of this. Like, pe there's people that do not know how to do this. They have
mm,
no knowledge of what we do. So whenever we're drawing, it's like they're always thinking like, how did they do that? How did they figure that out? And what are the shortcuts? I'm still trying to think of like what the I still want to find the shortcuts too. I know there's no shortcuts for everything. There's some shortcuts for some stuff, but not everything. But people, they just don't know where to even begin how to do any of this stuff. And I think that too. I look at
mhm,
Mobius like, how do you do that? I still think that. How do you do that? Even though I'm drawing. I look at my friends' stuff. I'm like, I even look at my friends' stuff that have different styles. Like, how did they come to that conclusion? And I can't ask them all the time, because if I asked them, I would ask them all the time. Hey,
mm,
what was your decision making in doing all this stuff? But going back to it, yeah, they only have a vocabulary of how to describe the skilled person showing off their skills. But then, yeah,
mm.
then we get into our heads and think like, oh no, that describes us as a skilled person that we have to prove it.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like I need to, like right now, like I need to improvise with the
Mhm.
outstanding work in front of people. And then it's kind of also like I say, it's about this perspective because like when she says this, for me, like outstanding work is like I need to draw like Michelangelo now, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for them, like my like mediocre sketch will look like it's amazing
Right.
work.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I
and
think
he,
so.
so this kind of like what is kind of reality. What is reality here is like manage to deal with it properly because um, kind of without experience you will crack. You was like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. Say sorry, I need to go to toilet and then take taxi and run away. But as more experience, you say like, okay, anyway, at least nobody will kill me here, right? So they will worse, they will laugh at me, and life will continue after that. But most likely, they will even like my work. So I need just do it. And same with every work. Like you make a comic book, it's like, oh my god, like I spent like 1 month for this, and it look like so stupid. It's like, okay, I need to finish it, and like I'm not sure, like I'm actually like perceive it properly right now. I'm kind of like exaggerating, like about like no, yeah, you know what I mean, like keep adding expectations, keep changing like perception of my own work. And like if we will always reply to this emotional state, you will never do anything. It's like you will never live life. You will just avoid risks.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's no way of going about things. I was very uh strict on trying to get things right when I was younger, as far as drawing goes. And I would just overthink way too much about inconsequential things. I would I would try to, what would I used to do? I would just get very anal about like stuff, like certain details and stuff, and I had to follow a strict, super strict rules. Something like perspective. If my line was off, then I would start all over again.
Hmm.
But then now, treating the guidelines as a guide and not the exact thing, I can stray away. Like these lines, I would have used if I was younger, I would have used a ruler for all of this stuff. If I was for all these buildings in the back, I'm not gonna use any rulers for these buildings in the back. I'm just gonna use whatever is on the guideline and try to just get close enough to it and be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can be okay now. But back, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would make sure I would make sure that this meets the same measurement as this or whatever.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if I strayed off and it went down here, I messed it up. I had to white it out and fix it all over again. This one's a bit exaggerated, but
So this for me is how mastery works: is by experiencing, by practicing, and also you need to have intention to became more nuanced, because some people they just keep drawing same stuff again and again without reflecting.
yeah.
But if you have this like intention to improve all the time, so you look where you can be like more efficient, because you have like what is about drawing fast, it's about making better decisions, kind of, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
like you it means like you choose, you have better priorities. So like beginner, he don't know what to prioritize, so he's just trying to draw everything, and he fail randomly. Professional, like more experienced artist, he say like, I cannot draw everything properly. I will definitely draw something wrong. I will lose somewhere because like I don't want to be like super over concentrated whole time, right? So, and he will make decisions like experienced artist. He'll say like, okay, this is my priority, and this other area of my work, I can do it loose. I can make mistakes. I give kind of freedom for myself to draw it wrong. So, and you learn from experience, you learn these critical aspects of your work, which should be prioritized. So you can draw like, let's say like with this perspective grid, like you don't need to like use some special tools to measure like exact curvature. You can make it like, you have a lot of freedom for failure. But in a perspective, you should always know that like closer object is bigger, farther object is smaller. And if you want to draw like between them, you need to see kind of how to place it within. Like you need some kind of guidelines, so it will help you to find third object in between. That's it, kind of. So unless you not fail with this principle of diminishing, perspective looks fine. And no, if like talk like very most essential, and there like with all particular type of perspective, they have their like own most essential principle, which you need make sure you not break them. And it's not so much. It's like, I don't know, like 10% of whole stuff. So you can like mess up with everything, but make sure like this part is not failed, kind of. So, and if like again like with this fisheye perspective, is it's a structure of vanishing points and curvature. So if you remember like how this curvature works and like what is principle behind, then this enough. And how you skew it's no big deal. And sometimes even you getting close to break like very important rules, but you get lucky and nobody notice it. So it's a lot of freedom for mistakes. It's kind of like, again, for me, I find like eventually anyway, your intention, your energy, kind of which you want to transfer through your work, is the more important. So like we need this techniques and a structure to make sure we can deliver it. So it's like, it's kind of like a container for water. So if we have like a bad container or with the holes, it's like weak, broken, then we just cannot deliver this water, kind of, right? So all these like artistic techniques, they just help us deliver this energy, kind of this like in Daniel Warren Johnson, this like dynamism or this like explosive energy. And this we need to remember, it's like not about making something correct. It's just about delivering it. And if you don't have skills, if you don't have techniques, you just don't have means to deliver your energy. It will be just like nobody see anything and you're totally collapse, kind of. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, all this. Yeah, that's why I call it fine tuning. You need to fine tune and find like your own balance of principles, like rules, and just jazz, joy, kind of, and Like it should just be fun in the core. And if you break this fun by trying to be correct, it's also failure. It's kind of bad thing to happen. Thanks.
What are your thoughts then on I always get conflicted looking at the perspective and line work of uh Otomo and
Mhm.
Jeff Darrow. Both of them are very
Uh-huh.
uh they're they know perspective, but Jeff Darrow's line is a little bit looser, closer to Mobius. Otomo's, or I guess his assistants, were very, very tight with their line work. And I always conflict myself with like which one do I want to go. I go closer to just staying loose because
Mhm.
I'm not going to use a ruler all the time.
I actually like I have a position of like Atomo and Tsutomu Nihei.
Uh,
So for me, it's like Tsutomu Nihei. He's like extremely loose and clever, kind of like it feels like he's sculpting, like he's sculpting space. You know, I don't feel like I tell about your ink. Like it feels just like it's living its own life, like it's something real. Same like how Tsutomu Nihei, I don't see any like perspective lines or vanishing points. I just see real space. I see like real environment, like how he draw. It feels like it's alive.
yeah, yeah, because these lines are so energetic.
Yeah, and like when I was first time read his Blame, I was just like can't stop. I read this chapter. After like I make a break like for lunch or something, and it's like wow, it's like it feels absolutely like I've been in a dream. So like while I was watching his manga, for me it was so like powerful. Like when you know like when you have this experience in a dream, like it's like totally like surrounding you.
I'll have to look at his work more. I am familiar with it, but
Oh, yeah,
I need to
definitely,
look
yeah.
at it more.
So you can see like his blame, like definitely like it's something crazy. And like his storytelling very interesting. Like also very clever, like how he it feels like he have no idea what he's doing, like not like very written script or something. And then he in the process he kind of creates story of his world and also can see like evolution of his style in the process of this blame manga. And then I like Apazims, like he's one of his
Oh, uh,
recent Apazim, something like this, I think. Sims or Zims.
yeah.
And it's like very different from Blame. It's like still have quality of Tsutomu Nihei, but he used like kind of interesting approach to save his time when he draw. Like he make like broken lines whole time, so there's like no long lines in the Apazims.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to look at that too. I have two of the toys. Do you collect toys?
No, I have only like for reference this kind of
Oh,
yeah.
there's two figure. There's an opossums figure and
Uh-huh.
the main character from Blame. They made a toy of that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. We have Kevin Anthony Catalan in the chat. What's up,
Uh,
Kevin?
cool,
And Doug
cool.
Logue. Are you familiar with Kevin's work? He's very good too.
Oh, we'll check. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Gazilcher is in the chat as well. He has very good work as well.
Let me, I will make a break for a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Так.
No problem. Who else is in the chat? Constantinus, hello. Human Atelier, hello. Tug Lug. It's my show now. What time is it? 7:30. For how long has it been going at this? 2.5, just about. We had some technical problems. It seems that it's all worked out now. We tried using Discord to Discord voice chat, video chat as a streaming thing to stream both of our windows, but for whatever reason, it did not work. It just did not work. Crazy crossover. I watch Gene's videos and it's surprise you're here. Really? How long have you been watching Gene's videos? I bet he'd love to know that. Tug Lug, who are your favorite artists in terms of composition and perspective? Composition in perspective? Mobius, Jeff Darrow, Otomo. Those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my ass. Off the top of my dome ass, my ass domed ass. But composition generally, look at Alex Toth. That's it. Just look at Alex Toth. Yeah, look at Alex Toth. No, that were previously mentioned. I just found Gene's videos. I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, maybe three. Tug Lug, what do you like? Who do you like? I'm looking around to see if I have any books
Mm.
around me to give me this perspective. Oh, there's another guy too. I don't think I have the book. Oh yeah, and I learned this one from Kevin. I saw this book years ago. Framed Ink,
Ah, yeah.
by Marcos Mathieu Mester. He was at WonderCon a few weeks ago, but I did not see him. I was at the booth.
Ah, does he have a new book, like Perspective of Environment?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I only have that one though. I might get the other ones. Kevin said he's been watching you, Gene, for probably 1 or 2 weeks. He
Oh,
said I
cool.
watched it after the streams. Really useful breakdowns of perspective and compositions. Loved the Akira breakdowns. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Weren't you gonna do
Nice.
more Akira breakdowns tonight?
Ah, today? Yeah, okay. No, I was just thinking
Or I
maybe
don't know.
I'll
Oh.
draw this stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Just like I already drew this grid, so try to draw
Oh
some.
yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, you know what you should have done? You should have showed me up and fixed this
Ah,
panel.
you're ah
You should like do it like this.
no, I was thinking do this, but I think like kind of like I always like
Oh.
change somebody work.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But okay, yeah, let's do not do both.
Do you have any books?
Oh, a lot, yeah, a lot of books. Yeah, also like framed ink.
Oh no, no,
So
of your own stuff.
My books. Yeah, it's like art books with my travel drawings.
Oh,
That's
okay. Get those. I'll read the comments. Tuglug says Gene's video fixed my sleeping schedule. He streams in the morning for me. Oh, he streams in the morning for you? Oh, you might live in the same area then.
Oh, yeah, somewhere in Asia. So, like Hong Kong, for example.
Hmm.
So it's me drawing
Oh,
on the street.
wow.
So, like there is a artist community, urban sketchers.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like doing different. Because it's like based on a Russian academia kind of art school. I think in America maybe you same have this. It's just like academia style when you
Yeah.
need to make etudes, kind of or life studies,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah, we have.
I kind of connected it with manga style. Like so, I basically I kind of try to make like Tsutomu Nihei
Hmm.
and from real spaces.
Yes. How long do these drawings usually take you?
Uh, in general, like 2.5 hour.
Dang, that's
Mm.
it. That how long did that one take?
This one maybe 3 hour, something like that.
Man,
2.5, 3.5. This one like 2.5, I think.
what do you do when looking in real life? There's certain things that you can't, I would imagine, there's certain things that you can't really make out the specifics of it. Either
Mm.
in these drawings or there's the other one that we were showing the mom and the kid in the stroller. There was a statue on the corner of that turn. Like you couldn't have seen every detail of that statue, could you? And if you couldn't, or anything that you can't really make out, how do you approximate that in the drawing?
Here is like also when to fix this thing, like to deal with this stuff, it's where I learned this shapes principle.
Uh,
Right? So you like when you have like one way, let's say it's like you can start to draw gun like from details, like oh here's like a barrel, then here I kind of try to memorize. So you think like objectively, right? It's like you're drawing like real object, and this kind of problem with this because you lost two-dimensional abstract quality in your work, right? It's like kind of stylistic quality. So let's say because I can stuck with proportions, like trying to memorize and making like accurate proportions, representation of it properly. Um, all this like maybe this thing here, right? And the other way to draw it is like you draw shape kind of and then you can just like add some like features of it, right? So it's also like this principle here about you need to know which features is essential so it will look like a gun, right? So it's kind of like we constantly need to apply logic in our work, which kind of also I talk in the channel, like nobody stated clearly. Like I never hear people like state clearly because it's like kind of like tree of hierarchy. So let's say like firearm, then you say uh, pistol, Then we say we have like a revolver with this kind of pistols. Then we say like what is main characteristics. So you can show us like it will look like a real pistol, or you can show it will look like a Desert Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
So in this Desert Eagle, it will be certain kind of silhouette, like a shape of
Right.
Desert Eagle, plus some kind of details which will make it. Maybe you don't need to like remember like what is details for Desert Eagle, but silhouette will be enough. But details you will use which will make it clear it's a gun. So, and it's kind of this is a huge part of artist creative process. It's like logical analysis, because we can approach it from different direction. Like you can start like shape, then you get these details, or you can start from details. Which kind of details? Up to you. Yeah, so, and when you're not sure about details, like statue, okay, you think again logically, right? So if it's somebody sit, okay, first of all, you want to make it clearly it's a person sit. That's it. You don't need to think about any details, like how finger looks from this statue, right? So first you make sure it looks like figure sit. Then if you have time or resources, or skill, you can like bring some features into this general quality. So you say like, oh, it look like sit, like maybe figure have like a fat face or something, like long ears, so like you try to. So
Yeah.
think is like if you will mindlessly trying to replicate this statue and you will focus on details and you fail with the drawing it like a sit figure, it will look horrible. Nobody care about like how you capture like his fatness on the face, but it looked like a not properly drawn figure in the space.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're first of all like, and this is what I also learned from observing other artists. It's often it's better to be precise with the general characteristics, and like in your this view, um, you make like you avoid so many like nuances, like let's say like you don't draw like eyes with the pupils when you have like small head, right? So you will
Oh
draw
yeah.
some.
Too
I
small.
yeah. I spent so much time to understand it because I was like draw small, and I try to draw like eyes, pupils,
Yeah, I would
eyelashes.
do that too. I would do that too. And then it gets too muddy.
Yeah,
Even if
and
you had like a 0.003 micron, the smallest thing, it's so inconsequential at that
yeah. So
point.
it's like you can have like big paper, can have like very fine nib, and you draw all these facial features, but so like after nobody see it. It just looks like not like mess, like not organized. It's like no stylistic decisions. It's just like you're trying to draw in everything. That's it. So, oh, this one my favorite. It's like my friend have a. It's kind of like um, company. They very famous in Hong Kong. They did some movies. Like his father is like Hong Kong superstar. Maybe you've seen
Oh,
movies. I don't know. So and he have like expensive office with a view to harbor. So it's like Hong Kong harbor view. it's like
whoa.
it's like here between.
Yeah, in the sliver. Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, that's cool. Because like if you want to have a window in Hong Kong, you need to pay like extra money, like good money.
Uh,
And if you want to see sky or water, it's a lot of more money. So it's kind of very interesting, right? So like sky or nature view is a luxury. So,
Yeah, that image is a good metaphor for that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like really like
Oh,
uh
do you have tutorials on stairs in perspective?
yeah, a lot, a lot.
That's the one. That's the one to learn.
Yeah, need to watch. I watch my tutorials sometimes too, because like like I have a new friend here she was right, or he apologized. So like was right, like, oh, I learned before and after I forget. Yeah, you
Yeah.
always forget.
Oh yeah.
Even me, like I make these tutorials, like, yeah, nice, cool. After like I need to kind of recall, and I go and I think like, okay, it's really actually I remember like I put all the stuff together in one video, so I go watch my own tutorial.
Oh yeah. It's fun.
Mhm.
I'll do that too, because sometimes I'll have to, especially with comic books, you have to, if you're drawing characters all the time and they're repeated on different pages, and you kind of just make them up on that first panel where they show up, you have to draw the same thing over and over again. And I'll just photograph my drawings and print them out so that I have
Mm,
reference to those characters.
yeah,
Is
yeah. So
there, yeah,
no, no, no. Okay.
is there with perspective, is there a certain ratio distance with vanishing points, um, vanishing points that we can't see on a panel or on a canvas that we can always use to make uh a drawing look natural and not extreme with the perspective.
No, I don't
Um,
think so. So it's like
mm,
uh, there's a lot of like approaches, and like anyway, most important is just to know like most basic principles. That's it.
okay.
And you can find like specific like specific technique, like specific way how to calculate something, like drawing stairs, like okay, like how to rotate objects in a 5 point perspective. I find like Italian book, some Italian professor where he's like have like very precise, like using protractors, this thing, like how's it called, I forget even. And it's like, okay, I will definitely not use this stuff, like I don't care. So I was look at his, like I was trying to figure out for myself how can I do it freehand.
Mhm.
And then I kind of came up with my tutorials, like how to like rotate in perspective. So you can, it takes some time. You draw in couple drawings, trying to figure out how can you manage to avoid like the very precise tools, like and so like for our purpose, like comic books is not technical drawing. It's not like engineering project kind of, right? For our purpose, freehand do it all. Don't need to be like measuring all this stuff. Don't need to measure like uh, how like stair threads will diminish in perspective, um, don't need to manage like measure every like thing, like how angle will change in a 5 point perspective, all this stuff. All you need is just to figure out how to make sure it's look realistically. That's it. And so it's like, okay, when you learn these principles, right, like like perspective grid, for example, for Fisheye. But like right now, like I never draw a car from this angle. It's like here is like very extreme, so it's like kind of looks weird. And now I kind of learning in the process right now. It's kind of this car, right? So, and for us as artists, like how you want to learn this, how you want to improve with this kind of subject, you can find way how to measure this car in such perspective. Or you can just make a couple attempts and just get it intuitively, kind of from your drawing experience. You just draw a couple cars, maybe you find some play with 3D model, and you just get a full idea how it should look realistically in such perspective. So you can go this way, like when you're like engineer, like totally like with the numbers, with this like protractors, or you like little more rely on your like eyeballing process. So this kind of my also perspective on this. That's why I also like kind of talking here kind of in my channel is like I'm teaching specifically for illustrators and comic book artists, because somebody who want to be like super technical, there is like more precise approaches how to calculate perspective. I just like it's killing joy. It's killing your flow when you start to, because it will. It's how this fable about short bed. So they cut legs, right? Say like, oh, you want to sleep on this bed, like your legs too long, so we cut your legs. So this kind of like perspective techniques, if you take them too seriously, you will cut kind of legs of your own artwork.
Mhm.
So you kind of say like, okay, this is for engineers. It's like I don't need to be like car mechanic to draw cars, right? So it's
Yeah, just
kind
know the
of
rules. Or you can keep your screen big.
okay. So here. So let's say square here. So there's like a learning curve how to understand how to draw kind of complex perspective, and you can go this path of learning by applying some like very technical approach, or by applying like more just experience, like your subjective experience, and it works very well. And also like I will make a video about how to draw people in perspective. I kind of keep preparing for this, and it's very interesting. Like I was research, and I finally understand how much manga artists they use pose packs. You know this like it's like reference books with different
Oh
poses.
yes, yeah.
So I was just find like a book with bicycles, like bicycle riders, like from different angles. And I was like, wait a second, now it makes sense. It's just like poof, like Rashomon, because I watch Katsuhiro Otomo. He have some serious drawings about with bicycle riders, and I look at them, so like, oh my god, how he captures so many details, how he managed to put it all together. And I like realize, like, you just take freaking reference with this angle, and it's like, if you have like, okay, like, yeah, it's keep distracting, but here's like very interesting moment. Very interesting. So, yeah. So it's like a Taiwan artist, like he has this like box set. I don't know, it's his invention or he borrowed it somewhere. Imagine like you want to draw something from particular angle, and eventually like it's limited amount of angles, and they're here. So you just learn how to draw these angles, and then it's very easy to draw intermediate angle. So when you have like this photo library or this kind of Japanese book with a figure from different angles, for example, like there's so many poses which is so typical, like a rider on a bicycle or a rider on a motorcycle. So you have to have this reference pack, because you can switch motorcycle for different model, you can switch guy for any other guy. But what is most complicated is to have this for shortening. It's freaking nuts. Like you, how all these tiny differences, like his hand or something, it's like So you take, for example, like you have fisheye perspective, which is this kind of angle, but with a lot of specific distortion for your perspective grid. So you take this angle from reference book and you little distort it to match for your own picture. So, and the beginner artists, they will kind of say like, so I don't need to learn perspective now. I just need to buy some reference books or use 3D program, right? And here's kind of trick. No, it's like all this, it's together. You need to use it all together. You need to learn how to draw it without reference. But then you need to also realize like to figure out like every angle. It just will take so much effort. It's just kind of like fanatism and almost not realistic. So when we look like professional manga artists who have like pages with this so many different angles, they just took this angle from reference and they apply their knowledge of perspective and drawing 3D stuff, so they can like recreate them properly. So kind of anyway, I will do a video about this, like describing all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that video.
Cool. Nice. Like hope one day I will go to America, some like Comic Con or stuff like this.
Oh yeah. Do you do convention shows over there?
Not
Anything
yet.
like that? Not yet.
Kind of, I don't know. It's like it's like kind of little different vibes here. I'm more like American comic style. And this like Asian comic books. Like maybe this why I like Atomo and Tsutomu Nihei. Maybe they look like least typical Asian manga.
Yeah, I could see that.
Damn,
this vehicle is just so weird looking in this perspective.
Yeah,
But I totally see it. It makes sense within the structure of
so I kind of put myself for this awkward situation because like so yeah, why I was talking about this bicycle and reference book, because if I draw it my own page like illustration or manga or comic book, right, I will see like I cannot manage it. Something weird with this car. So I will try to make like 3D, put somewhere 3D program, try to look how it look, just to have like idea of how it should look properly.
Right.
And it's like it will not like most. So like I don't need like exact coordinates, right? I just need to see because like I never see it like this, so I'm not entirely sure how it should supposed to look. So often kind of like we might forget about this. Like you can say like, oh no, I want to learn perspective to be able to draw totally without reference. And no, it's kind of false approach. Is because it's not about like, oh, you don't know how to draw in perspective. It's just you cannot know how to draw everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's impossible. Yeah, and it just goes back to what you were saying. If you know the angles, follow the guidelines, as long as the shape fits within those, you're okay.
And this is what we see actually, right? So I was like, I don't understand before about this all this reference like sets and like all these photos of different angles, unless I was recently did this like tutorial, and it's like that's it. I don't need like exact angle from photograph, just like
Just need
close
that.
one, just close one,
Yeah.
because all I need is just a little distorted, make it more match my perspective.
Yeah. I think
So
that's also says something to compromise too. I Some people just get hung up with having, I don't know, an angle at a specific orientation that they don't compromise where to simplify the the drawing or simplify the angle that has to be a certain way. And it's okay to compromise because the image will still read uh, just as much if it wasn't at that exact angle that you wanted it to be. I don't know. I'm
yeah,
just talking.
no, I mean it's like you also, it's just normal way to learn it. It's just to try it a couple times, and then you will like get, you kind of like fine tune yourself, and you will get this like clear idea. Okay, so this how I can manage it.
Mm.
Uh, this kind of process, how it works for artists. Like if for engineer, he can go like buy a book or go to teacher, and he will show him like exact way how to do. For us as artists, we have two broad subjects. Like you need to learn to draw everything. There is no patterns for everything, kind of. So you kind of like need to try it a couple times and see like, oh, okay, like after drawing this angle of this car like 5 times, I finally find like this like small kind of difference which make it look exactly how it should be. Even then, if after will be some dude who's like super a professor of a fish perspective, and he will come up with some protractors. He'll say like, you can calculate this angle, and he like will calculate. So like, oh, okay, sorry, like maybe you only one on the planet who know how to do this.
Right.
But I cannot like find like the dude like you who will show me how to calculate perspective for like Alien versus Predator.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, we just don't have time to do that either.
Yeah, so it's like we just find natural way to fine tune
Yeah,
into realism.
right. How then, how, hmm, how strict do you get with following? I know you already answered this already.
Uh-huh.
I was just thinking of this technique when people there's like the thing where like, oh, you want to learn how to draw windows and perspective,
Uh-huh.
and you have where's my thing? Okay, yeah. So you have this. They go, oh, if you want to find the direct measurements of the exact measurements of the the window, you put the X here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you find uh, the half line here. So then to find the next window,
Mm-hmm.
you do this, right? Do you do that? Are you gonna do that? Would you do that all the time on this drawing that you're drawing here? If you're gonna put windows somewhere,
I will do it not for Windows, but some more like a general kind of bigger forms.
bigger
I might,
forms. Okay.
yeah, and yeah, also maybe also depends on amount of experience. So if it's like first time I do this angle or this perspective, I will be like little more careful. But after some time, you get this confidence, and you get this feeling how you can like how to say like you can I don't know like polite words like like a fuck with the rules. It's like okay, no, who cares? Kind of like you know how to play around with this stuff without building it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I say, it's like for us, like I just this think about it. It's just like we have I don't know three maybe parameters. It's like we should not forget about them. It's like you actually try to deliver this energy, kind of, right? You want to make it awesome. Like, and I kind of keep reminding it myself. Like Daniel Warren Johnson, he say in some interview, he say, first of all, I want to make sure it's cool, and then when I feel like I need to fix something, I will go for reference for some support of a technique or stuff. So like with this like approach of how to draw stuff in perspective, you have a lot of different approach, a lot of different techniques. If you will do everything like in a book, like super properly, it for me it will be too boring. So I make decision how to like make kind of certain jumps over steps to make sure it's fun for me to draw. So like windows, right? Like if I draw windows, it would or buildings, right? I from beginning when I decide like I don't want to draw architecture, I want to draw um, kind of like a surreal experience of my environment around me. Like if like that's why I tell you about all these weird ideas, right? Because they help me to avoid this boredom kind of and like mundane approach when people just like, oh, I draw building. Like, why? So, like if I draw building, I will like kind of like approach all these windows like rhythms, right? So it's like saying like, okay, uh, what kind of surreal quality of this structure? So there's some like like a rhythm of these vertical lines, right?
Mhm.
Then you can like if I add this, will it break it rhythm or it will like add up? So it will make it more like interesting, like so it's keep being like more and more complex. So when you add more and more elements, you just make sure it will not interrupt other elements. So this is for me more important than like drawing them properly. So then like maybe we'll make some scratch just because I don't want to have this even spaces, maybe some dots, and then like a door here. So if I draw door, I imagine for myself it's some kind of door in a spaceship, right? Or like if I draw car, right? It's definitely, I think, always it's a face,
Huh.
right?
Yeah.
So you want like kind of
Right.
beast. It's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, because if your approach it's like technically, it's like it's became just like a framework without soul, right?
Right.
So, and when you have beasts, then things start to align. So underlying idea or principle makes things unite and make sense. When you don't have underlying, things is just scattered.
Yeah.
So you might have some underlying idea like for one car inside your drawing, while your rest of your drawing is technical. When you
Oh, yeah.
just, or you can think like in a more and more and more like total way, right? So you can say like, oh, this page have certain like a wave beneath it. It's a kind of like energy, like a momentum kind of, and or like a rhythm, like dun 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 dun. Other page was like do 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 do, and you kind of keep like hanging stuff on it, like on a Christmas tree, or and then it's like, oh, how about my whole comic book? How about my whole idea of my art, kind of what am I doing? And then it's like, okay, maybe I kind of like for me, how I define it's like kind of like um it's like my own business with the universe, you know. So it's like best what I can do, it's to listen and reply, kind of. So like when I draw, it's like I listen this momentum, and then I give like my reply to it, right? Like kind of, well, it's like kind of dialogue communication. So like it's going through me, and then I have like go through my filter and expressed. And then universe react to my reply and have this kind of like conversation, kind of. So yeah. And like I say, like in I find this idea, I start to see it when I was drawing outdoors. I just like, really, this is how it is. Like, because I was always um think about this, like I want to discover something. I want to really find like what is all about, like maybe some kind of like uh mystery I want to find in this thing, because it feels like it's something huge. And this what I discover for myself is like, artists, we have this absolutely unique path, like, and the way of being, kind of like only we like connected in a certain way, like nobody else is connected to universe, let's say. So, and then like I was see this like a momentum, and I say like, oh, I like this feeling, like I'm work with the real matter, like I want to share this message of like being itself, life itself in my drawings. But then when I draw from imagination, I don't have it. And I was like, so like maybe I don't have imagination. Like why? It's because I start to work with reference, I start to work with some kind of like common patterns, like this average ideas, like, oh, superhero, you know, like it's not my idea, it's not going from me, it's go like I just take it from informational kind of environment, right? So I was thinking like, where is my own kind of mm, and I was saying like I see it in some works, like like Tsutomu Nihei, he definitely have this uh this it's kind of host Treadmoor, right? Like it's like, my god, he's like nuclear bomb, kind of what happens there. And I was like, what how it works. So uh when you have intention, you will kind of find you will resolve it. So my resolve was when I finally like noticed, like, wait a second, I have crazy dreams. Like, don't know, like I see like apocalypses in the dreams, like alien invasion, like England Queen. Like I don't know why, I never kind of think about her. Whatever crazy stuff, and you wake up is like, what it was? It's like it feels like definitely like you was in a parallel universe. It's like huge world, like all this like absolutely like insane powerful images there in my head. Like it wasn't like somewhere. It's like living inside me. And there is like a book from David Lynch, like Catch Big Fish. So he made this like meditations to like dive inside his psyche, subconsciousness, and he really like discovers these huge images, like a breathing creatures, and this like ideas for his like artworks, they're living creatures, like somewhere in this like parallel, or I don't know, it's like kind of in this no man. We cannot like no cannot describe what is this and where it is and what is actually is. But we can kind of connect to it and let it through us kind of. So, and if for me it was always like in my dreams, and then I start to like, hey, I should to find a way how to manage it. So like David Lynch, he do it through meditation. He kind of connect his verbal, like his conscious with subconscious, right? He make his subconscious work for him. And I need to find my way too. And I tried to draw like a, I'll show you, like a mind flow, like when you don't think at all what you're drawing. So I did like comic book. So it's just like my DIY sketchbook where I just draw totally random stuff, just say like, okay, today I need to draw 1 or 2 pages.
Mhm.
And depends like how lucky I am. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's nothing. But this like brings like made this bridge between like my reality and my subconsciousness, because like one of this comic book, for example, like this one is favorite one, it just start like two guys, like two elves going to bar. It's just like just make first panel, start to draw like, okay, maybe it's a bar, maybe it's two elves go to bar. So there's one, it's like a punk, and it's like look in the windows, there's like everybody fights, and like second one, he's like more like timid guy, and so like it's too dangerous, let's not go here. It's like a steal from Daniel Warren Johnson, he's like kick door frame. But so
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I even don't use pencil, it's just like this
Wow.
Lamy Safari, I just see, and I was like kind of keep repeating myself, just draw for fun. And I think like what will be most fun and crazy stuff to draw on this page, on this frame, is like, okay, let's they're like kind of go in the bars, they're like crazy brawls, they're fighting. So this like brave guy, he kind of get punched in the face. He's like, oh, maybe he was right. It's like it was bad idea, go inside. So then this guy is like, and he kind of like he's shy, but he kind of like have PTSD, something like that. So he's just like, like he was like, oh, I don't sure where going after, like, oh, you wanna die, you fucking motherfuckers, like this and I don't know who these guys, but they became alive. They just born on the pages, and then like say, hey, like I have like two characters.
Yeah.
Like they just appear in front of my eyes, kind of like.
That
So
is cool. How old is this?
Um, maybe like 2 years ago, something like that.
Also notice too, there's no real perspective. You're
Ah,
just drawing what you wanted to draw. It's like with the fight scene too. It's like it's the one point, but it's really not even about that one
it's just
perspective. It's
yeah,
just
like
the
a
crowd.
children, yeah, just like a children drawing.
Wow, look at that.
So I was
Yeah.
trying to kind of make it as realistic as possible, but again, like without
Hmm.
disturbing this flow, because like I don't want it to become like I'm sit and start to draw like in a school,
Right. Yes.
and
Yeah.
so this kind of like I realize also after this kind of like drawing this stuff give me idea. It's like first of all, I start to really see how characters like born and like I have this couple times like this kind of click moment, like I sit, think about like, okay, like main hero, something, and then like I see he's like alive, like kind of like in my head somewhere, like he's real now. And this is like, wow. So it's kind of like in the real world, I say like we see like how reality like actualizes, right? Like it's like if it's kind of like a born from universe. I don't know, like you know what I mean. It's kind of like from it's came from somewhere, and there we have like other side of reality when things came from inner space, not from like universe outside you, but it's somewhere from inside you, and it's same thing. Um, yeah. So for me, it just was important to discover this phenomenon. So, or like this one. So it was uh, ah, me again. Like I was drawing. I don't know what to draw, and I create kind of character. I was talking with this elf, so I start to draw like I'm talking with my character from comic book. So it's like say like, oh, I don't know what to draw. Like kind of help me. And it's like, okay, I will tell you story. So now it's like,
That's
okay,
funny.
now
Oh, that's a great
it's
panel.
it's not my story. It's like some dude told me he can make like some shitty story.
Yes.
I don't worry now anymore. So and he tell me like, okay, say this like a barman from this bar where everybody fight. So he actually was like a fall from space. Like so he's like fall from space and he was fly and he observed like mountains, rivers, and like almost crying like it's so beautiful. So I was like, it's kind of weird. It's like what? And it's like oh,
Wait.
like so he fell down and like he was a meteorite that killed dinosaurs. It's like
Oh, he
oh
was the one
no.
that killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah, so it's like I mean, like we reveal it. Sorry, I'm like I kind of spoil my own
Oh,
story.
it's okay. That's cool. You got to do a tour of this book,
Uh,
standalone video, just going through every page.
because like I've been drawing this, I tell myself like I don't want to show it anyone. It's like kind of important,
Oh,
and I show it now because like two
oh,
year
I see, I
after,
see.
because kind of 2 year after. Because if I will draw it for other people, I will lost this
Yes.
like personal intimate connection kind of, right? Because like I don't know, maybe I will have some weird stuff I will be embarrassing to show other, right? Like I want to be like
Oh,
100% honest. It's just me and my subconsciousness, like uh kind of don't know, like it's not something like totally weird, but somebody can say like this guy he's like Lucifer, like afterwards I think, but I think it's like again, like um Carl Jung kind of stuff about archetypes. I just like stumble upon like archetype because like so his guy, so here he's like fall down. he's like look from grounds like, oh no, I destroy everybody. Like so he was like, look, it's a dinosaur bodies everywhere. It's like no. it's,
That
it's
is
like
cool.
and like I try to kind of like make us like kind of pretend like there is a real story, and there's like it's like
Yes.
it's not my fault kind of so now he tried to like escape from responsibility, say like, oh no, it's not my fault, and there's like and somebody said, yeah, it's not your fault. It's like same
Yeah.
give us no choice,
Oh.
and there's like is he talking to his shadows like us?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you're boss. I'm just your follower.
That's cool.
And like, like when I try to make comic book, it's always shit. It's like I don't have the score because like I keep kind of grabbing these average ideas, like everybody starts to do, and they're like, oh, I need this, I need that, like go like standard path. But doing this is like kind of like break all rules, is like got
Oh.
directly to some kind of source of ideas, like a David Lynch go to his subconsciousness, right? And there's this stuff like I will never imagine something like that. It's not my work. It's really like kind of comic book, like drawing himself. He just kind of take my hands and like draw himself by my hands.
I
So
like what I see though. I think this could totally work, but I do understand where you're coming from too, where it is difficult to make a comic book because you want it to be good from the get-go. At the same time too, and I know you already know this, but it's it's okay to not have it you don't have to have the best thing, yeah,
mhm.
uh from the get-go, from the beginning. It builds up the skill and all of that. Or as far as storytelling goes, you it does build up. But this is already good, and because it's me looking at uh your work, you definitely have a different opinion on what you previously did. But I think it can work. I do like it. I like just like the premise of the character becoming Satan and being the cause of the death of the dinosaurs. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. That's
So
funny. That's also fun to like talk to your own characters. I think you're
yeah, yeah,
even doing it in a way where uh you're kind of being loose with what the premise is, letting it just happen, letting the characters make it happen for you. You just drop the character. You just drop the character in certain situations and have them figure it out.
yeah,
What did they do now? And you don't even sometimes you don't even have to ask. They kind of just tell you this is what I'm gonna do.
yeah. So and before it was for me, it's just like metaphor. Before I
Yeah.
hear this like Miyazaki and some like a lot of directors and screenwriters were talking about this. Like I just ask my character, or I see what they will do, and I think they're like making metaphor, but here I actually see it.
Yeah.
So and yeah, and this kind of like what I say is like it's important. Is just give me this connection. So now I have like my own experience, and I see like so here is the real subject, and I know how it feels to work with this subject. It's like
Mhm.
I'm not imagining I'm not kind of construct story or character. I reveal in them. But
Yeah.
here it should be like collaboration. So you cannot have this collaboration first of all if you don't believe or you don't feel it's a real thing. So it's like exist on itself. So first you find this reality, kind of like imaginative substance, kind of like I mean, like it's not imaginative. It's just kind of like inner subconsciousness reality, kind of. And then your part of work, it's to have kind of like techniques and like our world mechanics. Like you should be able to create artwork, kind of, which will like have structure. So it's like, yeah, I can keep drawing like this stuff. Like, so like if I draw like, to say 10 pages, like 2 of them will be like really cool, and 8 will be just like random totally. But I find like I want to make again this connection to make it like a Miyazaki, when you know, like how he make Totoro. Have you hear it?
Oh, no, please don't.
So in some interview he say like how I think he just described his work process. I read it like in a couple different stuff. So his process is like an example with Totoro. He say he's just like kind of like, you know, like wake up one day and he just like see picture, like a scene when a girl with umbrella or standing under rain in the night in at waiting bus, and here near her like standing huge beast like from forest, and so this was like it just appeared to him, and then he started to just kind of like clarify it for himself. It's like, who is this? Like, why she is here? Who she waiting for? It's like, where she want to go? From where to where? Like, who is this creature? Why this happen? And he say like kind of he start to like unveil this situation, which lead him to discovering whole world and the storylines of these characters. So he'll say like he's literally like he put himself inside and he walk this road. Like he say like, where's this road with the bus? And he walk and say like, what will I see if I walk left? So he walk left from this bus station, walk, so like, okay, there is like a rice field, there is some kind of trees, there's like, here is a house, some old lady living in this house, and she have like in the summer like her grandson like living with her, kind of this. Then like walk, and there's another old house, and this old house been sold to father of this girl. No, I mean, like I don't remember all details, but this kind of like approach. So he in the one hand he have skills of a professional animator and storyteller, like because he's like already have experience working in professional environment. He know like how to make script. But on the other hand, he use for a subject of his work not form but essence, kind of. And this essence for him, it's kind of a spirit of a story. And Miyazaki, he is another example. Like I say, like Rammstein, they're like gnostics, something like no, they're like alchemists. There's like kind of a occult. I will give a link. It's fun, kind of. They have this like occult society, kind of like, which definitely they're a member of. And Miyazaki, he is a Japanese kind of religion. I forget how it's called. Shinto. So he kind of believe in the Shinto, and he kind of use his work as a form of a worship. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm sure it's a fact. Kind of, if you like read his interview, it's kind of what he's talking about, and that's why, like knowing like Shinto, this kind of imagery, right? Like symbolism of this Shinto religion, we will see how much it's like all his work is about this, all this like spirits, old gods, and like in a spirited way when there was like a haunted city and this sauna with a river, like, so there's like, it's crazy, like he totally into this. He's not just some dude who's like drawing folk tales. He like live in this reality and kind of describing his vision in his work. Так. So yeah, so my points here, like I want to find now like this way how to be professional with subconsciousness.
Yes, that is one strategy, definitely, and it seems to work, especially from that comic book that you shared. I hope you keep going with something like that too.
Mm.
I could even looking at that and then comparing it to perspective that you're doing now, I could totally see them merge together where you have this loose
Mm.
version of drawings from your stories, from your subconscious, and then having it uh, collaborate or meet the semi-rigidness of these perspective worlds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, what is, yeah, what can you gather from those two things, and how could those two things meld or exist on a single panel? I think it's already happening here too. I mean, look at the like the fisheye lens, what the fisheye lens did to that vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of almost like the looseness meeting
Mm.
uh perspective.
Yeah, and have this like certain amount of convincing quality, kind of.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and sometimes you don't know when is this kind of limit. Like you think you break rules, but then it's actually no. It was just like a bold move, like a brave
Yes.
decision, not like so. That's why also, like I say, like as artists, maybe we don't need perfect perspective. Maybe you need broken perspective. You will only know when you will draw, like see in the process.
That is the only way to know is by
So,
doing it.
so let's say here.
It's hard because I want to watch you draw, but then I also want to draw too. I
Uh,
will watch you draw.
oh, oops. Так. Oh, you can like little zoom out. I will draw your like fish eye. Так, so here's a truck. So actually, I learn a lot during these streams. Yeah, can you like little zoom out your picture? So
Me zoom. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah. So так, I need to take this window. Okay. Так. Let's do it here. So like how I usually do, right? Like so we have like information is a bridge, then is like here's this group, like we have a bus, vehicle, two figures. So it's kind of like this group of bridge with its stuff, and then you like describe what is the content of this, like what is inhabited of this bridge, right? It's kind of it's just make it feel more fun. It's like you create a world instead of just making picture. Then you see like, okay, what we can see? We see there's like freeway and stuff. So I can go this direction, start with composition elements and say, and there is like city view, right? And then I say like, what kind of perspective I want it to be. So like, let's say this guy and these three guys are like characters, right? So it should be perspective around them. Maybe let's do like nadir here. And like if you don't want to show horizon line, maybe I'll place like this. So it's like the vanishing point, horizon line, right? So then vertical axis. So I can, because it's very loose composition, right? I don't have any like form yet. I just have proportion and placement. So I can like impose perspective on them.
Oh.
So I can like it's up to you. Like it depends on your mood and stuff. So then, like I say, we have this straight line. It's y-axis. Oh, sorry, this y nadir, right? So it's like z and y. And like I say, I find like where is like camera. Oh, and it works like camera look to this character, right? So it's like will be perfect. This kind of actually what Amao do.
Yeah.
He's like he will make like somebody eye here. So it's like this smart way of using perspective as a composition tool. You kind of like you need to use powerful points as to put something there, right? Like a nodes. So here will be this character, like muscle character. So this here will go perpendicularly, like 90 degree to this axis, and go this x axis. So I don't see where is vanishing point, left vanishing point, and right vanishing point, right?
Yeah.
But I remember what is the pattern of these perspectives. Like I say, it's this kind of structure, right? So it's horizon line, and x go here, x goes there, right? So it's like kind of like instead of drawing all circle, I can draw like this circle, right? So same with this pattern, like I don't need to see every parts, I can like just keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Same like y-axis goes there. So I don't need to see where is vanishing points. I just can recreate a pattern of perspective grid. So and go like this, x-axis. So well, that's it. It's a z, it's x, and this y. So we have 3 dimensions, right? So now like let's make them kind of in this perspective. So you just like snap them. It's always easier to redraw somebody else's work. So I can do it faster. So this figure kind of following this y-axis. Where's his leg? And so has this character. So, oops, not careful, this y-axis here. Так. So these figures I will, yeah, they just make sure they follow in this grid, right? And so, yeah, if like in a bridge, this bridge is not following this vanishing point, right? But there also like we see kind of ratio, right? We see how like how fast lines converging. So you can kind of like imitate. So it's still like, okay. So you kind of build new perspective grid for small part here, right? So you see like here I kind of some kind of, maybe I make it wrong actually right now, but it's still kind of, I can pretend. If I don't say, maybe nobody noticed. I just by following this,
you're right,
extent kind of, right? You can fake it, and like if there is actual proper perspective. So then like also like vehicles, right? It's very easy to draw box which look properly in perspective, even if like you don't know exactly how to calculate it, but it's just box. Come on, it's so hard to draw box. No, right? So it's same like totally random position, right? Like one box here, one box there. So it's give you kind of this freedom of because now this box, each of these boxes became kind of perspective grid for its own space, right? And you, with the practice, you don't need to draw all these lines. You just kind of follow in edges of a box. So here's and this. So and then like if I want to draw some structure on a bridge, so then yeah, so then whatever I can draw in this perspective, same can feel like this road with the boxes. Like,
wow, you saw that too?
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, very good.
It seems like I'm very perceptive.
Yeah,
kind of.
very good.
So and then like I can say like these buildings, right? Maybe like I still don't find like a best solution how to do this, and like Nine Monkeys, he do it much better than me. Like how to not be over detailed with this, right?
Yeah.
So maybe one way is like we can like draw this like a bulbs. We just like say okay, just something like this, and then you turn them into boxes. Like give them roofs. So maybe, and same you can have like most of them follow like this main grid, but some make it rotated. So and rotated is also like easy because you just make it like convergent like a box, right? but make vertical lines connected to main axis. So it's like we have this y-axis, and I can rotate building whatever I want. All I need is just make sure it's following this y-axis. And like it's not like on here for this kind of small objects, nobody will look much for where is vanishing point, right? So first of all you need to make sure you manage its like convergence, kind of this, right? So it should be some convergence, and also kind of like main principle, like closer to horizon line, less convergence will be visible. Some kind of like it's like became a long lens perspective when it's like almost like zero perspective. It's just like parallel kind of lines, which also see like a lot in Akira kind of. So
very
here,
cool. Oh my gosh.
I kind of learned it I learned it from my own streams.
You know, looking at what you did, I wonder if you raised the thing that I didn't realize was to raise the horizon line. I didn't do that. I should have done that.
Again, kind of like you need to make pattern of perspective grid. So it's like so it's like I say, if like this is downshot perspective grid, like downshot fisheye. So horizon line is bent like this. If you make upshot, horizon line will bend like this, and we see like zenith, right? This vanishing point for zenith. So it's like here will be the vanishing point. So anyway, it's like, yeah, you better watch just my tutorial because like take hour kind of to explain it. So and so like I say, it has this structure, right? Like how this lines, so it's like look like an eye, right, with a cross in the center, which is not so need to be directly in the center. So all you need to remember is like imprint it in your head, so you will never forget. And then like you can draw it without horizon line, right? And without this vanishing points. So here will be like your, let's say, you know this is not horizon line. You know, if you want to draw, you will draw it like this, but you don't draw it. You kind of like, don't know, you make it faster, right? So you say, okay, this is y axis goes this way, and this goes this way. So no, it's kind of up to you how you cut this perspective grid, but kind of structure always will be same. And you all only will like completely know it after you draw it like many times. Just kind of like to teach your subconsciousness, kind of. It's like a driving car. First time you drive car, it's like you need to control every moment. It's like in mirror, how fast I drive, like I'm sure I'm push like a gas or stop, you know, like this, like very nervous. Like I want to make sure I will stop, not to like move faster. So you like if you control everything, very nervous. More you drive, more it's became like automotive. So is only way to make it automotive is just repetition. And it's not difficult repetition. You don't need to draw like masterpiece every time. Actually, like, then this is like most insane trick here. Actually, all you need to draw to make this fast learning this, to imprint your brain, just draw this structure.
Yeah.
Just draw
Yeah.
this and just kind of like you know Chinese characters. Like I say, like, oh, you just need to remember sequence, like this my name in the Chinese. That's it. You only need to remember sequence. And same here. You kind of like draw. Okay, you say like horizon line, then like 90-degree. Just repeat like 100 times. Like you go in the toilet, you go in the bus, in the elevator, anywhere. More like uh, all matters here. It's like you need to have it, make it very consciously and very clear to remember. Every time you need to have clear idea what is what here, right? So this is like Z vanishing point, this is Y vanishing point, Y is goes this way. You repeat it 100 times and more without any drawing. It's just this. And then it's like became like, okay, now it's became like obvious for me. Like I look here, I can see like, okay, I can like bend vertical lines and I say like I will do like vanishing point here. It's like became like hard to forget. Like impossible actually to forget.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I will have to keep I'll keep repeating that grid. Even still the non-fisheye fisheye
Mhm.
grids as well. I think that's just good practice.
Yeah, so it's just like it's so easy and
Mhm.
it will be just like kind of like why will I not do it? It's like it's
Yeah.
just so simple stuff to do. Yeah, it take time to do, but it's worth it. You will have it for all your life.
I will definitely keep at it. You know, I just get lazy. That's really what it is.
Mm. No, yeah, here I need to be like little like uh how I do it for myself is like I sometimes I just need to catch like a rush, you know, like a challenge, kind of like a challenge. Just so like, hey, wait a second, like if Amao can draw this, why I cannot? And it's just like I keep like doing it, keep on doing it. Like if this, like you know, like Western, like here on the left side, me, and the other side is fisheye perspective, and like we look in each other eyes, like your move, you know. So like am I weak, like am I so weak so I cannot figure out this? No, I'm sure I can. So and I will like push myself, and it's kind of became like kind of aggressive energy to it, you know. So it's kind of like in this kind of stuff, because you don't have anyone who will push you doing this, so you need to find some kind of um, yeah, like a
Motivate.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was cool. Thank you
Mm.
for your time and thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh, madness. Yeah. So yeah, you were very late now. Oh, 4 hours. Yeah, we got 4 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah, this was good though. This was good.
Cool.
Very informative, very educational. I only wish I drew more, but I always I never draw enough on my own live streams. I always end up talking about something else or pulling up different things. But this was very educational. Yes, thank you for the
Cool.
tutorial on that fish island, especially with this panel. It's
Cool.
showing a lot. Yeah, just that eye. I'm drawing that eye, the eye grid, I guess.
Yeah.
Very good. That's gonna help. That's gonna help.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Glad to talk with you. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody go to watch Kickstarter. Also,
Yes.
you invite people for your Discord, Ink and Drink.
Yes.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
will
the ink
give
and
a link.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, is the link in down there already? Oh, it's not. I will. What could I do? I could do these. Oh,
So yeah, everybody, welcome to Discord, Ink and Drink. There's like
I'll put it
300
on the.
artists. Very cool Discord. And
I'll put the link in the chat.
yeah, cool. And there is also like community drawing in online sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're
Mm.
actually there's a brand new canvas up right now. If you go to, oh, that's not the link. I clicked something. I pasted something else. I think I clicked the link on. What does it want? There you go. There's a link. Yeah, we have a weekly online canvas draw together event. It happens every Wednesday, so it's happening right now. Um,
Oh,
we draw
cool.
together on the online canvas, either on a gridded canvas or a uh, on an image.
Empty. Image.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, that we draw together. Last week was we drew on a Doctor Doom painting by Earl Norm. This
Uh,
week, for today, we have just a regular grid. We go back and forth with just a blank grid and an image that we draw on top of every week. And then we have a monthly in-person event at a bar here in Long Beach for local artists. The bar is Supply and Demand in Long Beach, 2500 East Anaheim Street. It happens every month. This month for April, it's happening Thursday, April 24th. You can see all the dates on our Ink and Drink Instagram.
mm,
It's posted there. And then we also have Sewer Boys 2 campaign happening May 6th next month. There is a there's a link on the Discord, there's a link on the Instagram. You can check it out there, get notified. We have the pre-launch page is up and we're just ramping up for that campaign as well.
mm. Okay, cool. So, okay, let me send message. Okay, so here's a link to our Discord. Thank you very
Oh, okay,
much.
cool. Yeah.
It was
Thank
very
you.
cool. To,
Yeah, thanks. Do you have a store or anything? Do you plug your stuff?
yeah, my website is jinbond.art. So, and also like have like a Gumroad.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
but yeah, in general, just will appreciate if people like subscribe, like and became member of a channel on
Oh,
YouTube.
yes.
Mm.
That does help. And likes help too, I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah. Also, if somebody also want from your community to join, because yeah, now I have 1 month Zoom subscription.
You buy. Yeah, I mean, you have a bunch of people here in the comments. I would say Kevin Anthony Catalan is
Mm.
he's more of a he's a published comic book artist. I don't know if you're familiar with IDW, the comic book company, but he's done work with them. He's
Mm.
done Ninja Turtle covers. IDW has the Ninja Turtle comic book license.
Mhm.
And he's also done a licensed Godzilla book with with writer Dave Baker, our friend. It's a one-shot comic, very good. It's Godzilla versus Space Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, if you're a fan of kaiju.
Ah,
What else has Kevin done? And he has his own creator-owned comic called Space Knights, published by through Cosmic Lion. Kevin is also currently working on issue 2 in between all the commissions that he's doing. And he also teaches too, Gene. He teaches
cool.
children art classes. Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
if Kevin's not busy, he would be the one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I will like talk in Discord. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
thank you very much. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Thank you, James.
Yeah. See you. Where's my hand? Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Так, where is this? Oh, no.